for vampire killing, you know? Like, I leave my window open so, you know, a little vampire could come in and you need to ward it off. This is Celril, indeed. He is our Aldmeri Noble, who came from the Summerset Isle, was exploring Tamriel. His family told him to go home. He decided not to go home. Unfortunately, they cut him off, and so he has no money, or had no money, I should say. Skyrim went down into a depression spiral due to an economic crisis brought on by the Civil War. All kinds of madness going on. Thankfully, however, Auryen decided to hire him as a relic hunter. So he was able to make do with his little group here of adventurers. Yes. Now, Faendal and Janassa have both more or less retired to the safe house, and our current band of adventurers include Rumarin, the adventurer, yes?
My invisible magic sword is yours.
Very good. And Elena, she was a tavern wench who we convinced to go on an adventure when we discovered she had supreme heavy armor and two-handed weapon skills.
Still here.
Yes.
Let's get going then.
There we go then. All right. Let's run now. Vampires or the cross actually works. Oh my, yes. It makes them hiss and wards them off. You see, it doesn't actually stop or kill them necessarily. It just makes them go. You see someone who you think is a vampire, so you just put the cross up to them and they go hiss and spit. Yeah, it's then you have to rely on garlic and silver and other stuff, but it's a good way to immediately determine whether they are a normal human or an atheist neckbeard / vampire. You can tell immediately whether they're in one of the two categories, either normal human or vampire / atheist neckbeard, because they'll hiss and spit at the cross the moment they see it, if they are in that second category, yes. So, as I was saying, we are now going to try to find those stolen books, and they are in Felglow Keep. That's going to be our goal, to collect stolen books and copy them for the museum before we turn them back in. Yes, neckbeards hiss at sunlight too. I mean, I have had my issues with sunlight, but I have transition sunglasses, so it doesn't really matter too much. Like, it'll I'm a significantly more let's just say well-funded than your average neckbeard, and plus I actually shave my neck. Yes, indeed. I'm currently in a basement, though. That is the filming location for these live streams, is in the basement. I go back to the overworld whenever the streams are done. Usually whenever I take a break, too. Alright, we got ourselves a goat we're going to shoot lightning at. Very good. We have proven our dominance over the goats. Yes. Church of what now? You say the church, and I immediately thought about this, like... like, you're like the church, and I'm just like, I immediately thought about the Tamamo no Mai figure there. I mean, I suppose we could go with the Game Boy, maybe. Yes, you all know about the Game Boy, right? The DS, the 3DS specifically. See, what happened is I always called the 3DS a Game Boy, and people would get angry at me and go, "That's not a Game Boy, that's a 3DS." And then my wife got this case for me so that I could keep calling it the Game Boy and just say it's a Game Boy now, bitch. that was great there. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, yes indeed. This is Celril, and we are going into the fort. This is Felglow Keep. We need to get our books back. Very important. Very important we get these books back. Sneaky sneak, sneaky sneak. Damn right. We have to go murder some evil mages. These evil mages want to keep us from getting our books back. We have to kill them. It's that simple. Combat mode. In this little game, I just killed an Atronach.
That takes care of that.
That takes care of that. Whoopsie. We're gonna drink a resist frost and fire potion. We should have one of those right here. Yes. And now we are extra resistant to the flames that are burning away our lives. Yes, yes, I do. I dare fight all of you. You're quite dead. Ring of Aetherius, I'll take it. Along with your bones. These guys were pretty pathetic. I thought I was going to get more out of this. Unfortunately, the Atronach was not the good. You wanted Feldew from the Shivering Isles? Feldew addictions are pretty bad. Oh, there's a fox here. Foxes are only useful to be broken down into components. There are actually initiatives. It's been going on for about 20 years now. There are initiatives to actually... oh, the fox killed the chicken. This makes sense. There are initiatives to actually domesticate the fox. And through selective breeding, they are actually picking the foxes out of each generation that like humans the most, and then only breeding those foxes. And so there's like this whole colony. I believe it's in Russia. I forget exactly where it is. No, I'm gonna retract that statement. I have no idea where it is. Okay, but I know there's an actual place where they've been at it for like 20 years now, and they plan to be on it for quite some time. But eventually, out of that place, we're gonna get domesticated foxes. For now, we have foxes that are suitable as house pets, but you have to understand that you aren't getting a dog, you are getting a domesticated fox, and they have their own biological quirks. Like, people are expecting a dog, and that's not the case. So, yes. Lost Histories of Tamriel. Very good. But either way, there are enough people. Oh, nice. Lost Histories of Tamriel is actually a book that belongs in the museum. Foxes are cute. You say they're not pets, but indeed, there is a whole generation of foxes which are completely capable to be pets. You just have to understand that, kind of like the way a cat is different from a dog. In the same sense, those you can't just force one of those one of those foxes to be a dog, basically. It simply won't work. Like, their behaviors are different. And so it is interesting to look at their, like, the behavior of the actual trained foxes that do go to people's homes and integrate into their families. And it's very interesting to see. And they absolutely do get along with humans, the domesticated ones. But, that they say that for general use, without because the humans need to be slightly trained, too, to know the fox's tells and what the fox, how the fox behaves. The humans need to adapt to the fox just as much as the fox needs to adapt to the humans. So, we're still several generations away, they say, from having a fox that you can just adopt on a whim. It simply is not the case and may never be the case. That's an important distinction. It's like the people who adopt cats and they expect them to act like dogs, and they wonder why, the cat may hiss at them or scratch them because, you aren't listening to the cat's body language. And you'll see these, this one show, I think it was like called My Cat from Hell or something like that. I've never actually seen the show. I've seen clips from it. Point is, they will get a problem cat and they will explain, why that cat is acting that way and such. And there are a lot of people that just don't understand cats' body language. Yes. Said, why not just domesticate hippos? Well, hippos have, they are environmentally incompatible. Foxes, on the other hand, are very happy to live in your house if they understand how the house works. Okay.
Good riddance, I say.
Yep. Hippos have huge herd social system, you say? Yeah, I mean... Let me see here. It said, technically cats are still wild animals. They just like humans too much. Oh, yes. Cats are... I always operate under the, how does this benefit me? That's how cats operate most of the time. With most humans, they'll pretend to love you as long as, they get what they want. But the thing is that cats are how do I put this? That they are actually a tribal animal to begin with. They form their own communities. But cats hunt alone. And they then go back to their community at the end of the day. It just happens that humans can be their community, basically. So when a cat goes off, wanders off to go look at birds out the window for a while, and then goes and plays with some string, and then, finally after doing all the things the cat wants to do, it comes back and tries to sleep with you. That's just a cat's natural behavior. They normally cluster up in, communities of cats that would do the same thing. In the wild, anyway. The feral cats will have a tendency to do that. Oof, my goodness. Which plate? Curious. Yeah, we'll grab all that. There are locations in the world where we just have tons and tons and tons of feral cats, and you can see how they get tribal and operate together. Yes. Now then, we got to get through Felglow Keep, and we got to get those damn Mages Guild books back. Hello. Can I talk to you? Oh, hello. You, indeed. Huff. Hello? Can I talk to you?
Vampires and conjurers. Oh, I'm all for letting them kill each other. Yes, I conjure weapons, but I'm not a mage. I trust they know the difference.
Out of the way, meat, she said. Yet, there's no dialogue attached to that. Out of the way, meat. Interesting. She's trying to run.
Hello? Who's there?
Okay. They're gonna go fight the, Oh god, she summoned a gargoyle! They both summoned deathhounds and gargoyles. Wow. Okay, then. There we go. I like how they're just sitting there in the corner. That guy has nothing on. And she's got a full,
You cannot even conceive of the power I wield.
my goodness. Okay. Pied Piper, you say? Huh, interesting. The vampires have been free. And that's fine. Yes. Oh, they're leaving now. Okay. Those vampies are leaving. I like how all I had to do was free them, and they didn't attack me. They just went and attacked those other guys. That was rather hilarious. I expected to have to fight everybody, but apparently they're scripted to just do that. Master Vampire, let me take your vampire dust. Oh, that vampire hound is making the same sound as an ice wraith. A Nord, don't care about that too much. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Yes. My goodness. Novice Conjurer. Had Ghost Walk. A Novice Conjurer. That was pretty funny. So those vampires just killed everybody and booked it. Got out of there. That was pretty hilarious, actually. Give me a second here. I need to blow my nose. Yay. The plague's going on, and I get allergies, and people think, oh, well, you must have the plague too, because you're sniffling and stuff. It's like, not really, no. More like I was exposed to some kind of pollen or something, and yeah. Right. I don't have any food allergies. I don't have any medication allergies. However, certain pollens and just plants in general will make me sneeze a bit and make my nose run. Yes. They aren't typical around here, but, you know. It's unfortunate because you barely make a sniffle, and they're like, oh god, he has the plague. Is that Orthorn over there? Sad little man. What's this? A storm wizard. Pretty sure he got killed by the vampires. He is quite the dead. Yes. Howdy, DB. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Not a whole lot is going on right now. Yes. But, yeah. We've been having fun today. Had a long discussion before we started traversing the fort. Then we talked about foxes and how there's an effort to domesticate them. It may not be humane, mind you. It may actually be very inhumane. But, you know, humans are the most inhumane things I've ever seen. So, what was it? A testament to the inhumanity of the human creature. Yes. Mm-hmm. As long as you're having fun, the rest of the city can burn. Yes, indeed. Alright, another soul gem there. More ruined books. That's what I'm talking about. That Storm Mage Adept quite died the death. Wamasu ring. Greater soul gems. Very good. Very good. You're asking about elves procreating with humans? Yes. Yes, they can. And Bretons are not half-elves. They are the descendants of, like... They're descendants of elves and humans that bred together over, you know, hundreds and hundreds of years. It's, they're the result of systematic interbreeding, not just, like, one generation. The way humans and elves work in the Elder Scrolls, like, the race of the mother always defines what the race of the child will be, basically. That's how it's supposed to work. The father can pass on secondary traits to the child, like skin tone and stuff. Yes. What was that line in Babylon 5? They can understand us, but they refuse to speak to us in any other language but their own. Didn't know these aliens were French. Alright, let me see here. How you doing?
Don't leave me here.
You're Orthorn?
Yes, yes. Did Archmage Auryen send you? He sent you to rescue me, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm here to rescue you and recover the books you stole.
See? I knew Auryen wouldn't leave me in here.
Yeah.
Hurry and get me out of this cage before they come for me.
I'm lying now. Where are the books you stole?
I don't have them anymore. She took them. The caller. She's the one who put me in here.
Right.
Please, let me out of here.
Yep. And, where's the key to the cage?
No, it's the levers in the center there. Just make sure you don't pull the wrong one. Please, hurry. I don't like being in here.
Okay.
They threw me in here until they were ready to use me in one of their experiments. This wasn't supposed to happen. I thought they wanted my help, not to use me as a test subject.
Damn.
Don't leave me here.
Okay. Well, let's leave him here. We'll rescue him after we've defeated the caller. No reason to, Oh, goodness gracious. Hold on a second. The way forward... That's the way back. Okay, so we can rescue him afterward, I imagine. Because, like, yeah, free Orthorn is optional. So let's save the game. And,
Don't leave me here.
yeah, I mean, he is a fellow Altmer, but he's terrible. He gives other Altmer a bad name. I guess that's the best way to put it. So, we'll fix him later.
Again.
Is someone there?
Over here.
Good. Those are some explosions. All right, let's resist fire. Yes.
I'll teach you to pick on blade binders, mage.
Good. So, it's extra poppy, the fire there. Let me see here. Gonna put this all away. See, if he were a good Altmer, he would have dominated these people with his mastery of the arcane. But he couldn't even do that, which is why we look down on him.
I rather like this room. When you're done shooting things, you can sit down, have a drink, and read a good burned book.
Yeah, there are burned books all over the place. You're right. Jeez, how you doing?
Hi there. Hi there.
Well, let's kill this vampire. Is it really sealed? There we go. We freed her. We freed her.
Never should have come here.
Really?
Is it getting hot? Or is it just me?
We just wanted the vampire dust, but still. You see, here's what happened. She wasn't supposed to be able to get pulled out of the cage. Once she did, she retained her stuck-in-cage lack of AI. And so she was just like, what are you doing? Stop it. I'm stuck in this cage still. You see, in her mind, she never left the cage because the game the vanilla game doesn't allow for her to leave the cage, except of course if you have the vampire, like the vampire lord grip ability, where you kind of grab them and pull them out. But that's another matter altogether. All right, the gods, you say? Well, there's only one god we worship right now, and that's what shall we call him again? Yes, Manny Marco. Very good. Don't worry too much. We're just going to trap this guy's soul. Speaking of, let's just go with this. We're going to run over. We're going to immediately use Soul Trap. Ignore all of the other guys. Good. Maybe that was a bad idea. Okay. We need to heal a bit. Yeah. Okay. Mercy. My followers will help kill him. We took his soul. We put his soul in a black soul gem. As for these skeletons, they're pathetic. Pathetic skeletons with Draugr parts. Why are there even a bunch of coffins here? I don't understand. Oh well, doesn't matter. Souls, black and white. Very good. I like how the monsters, they have white souls. The humans, they have black souls. Don't think about it too much. Just loot everything. There's a lot of bone meal in here, so we'll take it. All the bone meal. Yes. Well, the soul only goes to the soul cairn when it is properly enchanted, I believe. The soul is currently in the gym. It's possible that his animus, that is his mind, that possibly goes to the soul cairn right away. That is a distinct possibility as well. I hadn't thought about that. That it's possible that it separates the energy of the soul, which goes into the gym, versus the ghost of the person that they once were. Distinctly possible there. Let's see. Okay. I can't even read what he just said. I took a moment to try to read that, and I don't understand. I'm sorry. Let me continue here, though. We've got 5 more soul gems to fill. There we go. I will say thank you, I suppose. Let's continue. So, I mean, it's great if it works for you. I'm glad. Okay, if it works for you, I'm glad. I just Oh, by the way, if anyone's ever played this particular dungeon in Requiem, if you go over here, there's actually a path through here, and there's an Atronach Forge with like level 100 invisible Daedric spirits that try to murder you. And when I say invisible, I don't mean invisible with the effect. I mean they just don't have a character model at all, so you can't see them. It's a thing. So, but there's like a Daedric. I forget if it's a Daedric shield or a cuirass or something. There's a Daedric item in there. Yes, you said Requiem's super unstable right now. Yeah, I'm talking. I'm remembering Requiem when I played it, like version 1.8, something like that. 1.62. Those were the times when I played it. You know, I haven't played it in a long time. I don't really have any intention of playing it anytime soon because it would require a dedicated mod loadout. And as soon as I'm done with this Skyrim loadout, I'm going to immediately shift over to a different setup. When I say that I mean different setup, I'm going to do like Fallout 4 or something. I've, again, if we just really quick rotate over here, I have, I've set up Fallout 4 to go. I haven't put any mods in it right now. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing Horizon and possibly a couple like item sorting or UI mods, but that's about it. Yeah. Also, I kind of want to poke at Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76 again at some point. But point is, there's no chance of me doing another Skyrim run anytime soon. So yeah. However, Doom is also something I'm working on. When I say Doom, though, I'm actually talking about like this entire list here: Doom, Doom 2, Final Doom, Free Doom, Heretic, Hexen, Strafe, Castlevania Simon's Destiny, and Mega Man 8-Bit Deathmatch. We've got Project Brutality, Brutal Doom, the expansion to TNT, which is the Final Doom Part 1, and of course John Romero's Sigil. That's all the stuff we've installed right now. All of this stuff is already set up and ready to go. I'm very happy about that. All right. Like everything on that list is all set up, good to go. Seriously. Super excited. All right. Gotta kill this. Conjurer's dead. Ah, crap. Crap. Well, that hurt a smidgen. Yes. Horizon Survival has a specialization system where you can specialize in a particular type of magic. Magic? Yes! Magic! No, I was reading that book, The Door of Oblivion, and I was like, wait, that's about magic, right? No, you can specialize in a certain type of skill, and
murder, necromancy, torture, that I can abide, but Talos worship, kill the lawbreakers. Sorry, Thalmor joke.
Yeah, they had a jeez. There we go then. There we go then. Thalmor joke. Yes. Nate can now cast Fireball. Hey, you'd be surprised. A lot of the guns in Fallout are just the kind of spells. Got the Frost Spray, got the Fire Spray, got the Fireball Launcher. Don't worry about it. It's all there. You're dead. Yeah, it is one less thing to worry about. Jeez. She just went crunchy crunch. Let's see here. You're comfortable. You've been playing it for about 20 hours. Very cool. I'm very happy about that. Oh, Corpse Preparation Volume 3. Nice. That one's good. Conjuration. We'll take the Necromancy stuff. Activated. Beast Blood. No problem there. Yes. Food and alchemy and Fallout 4 are all just part of the alchemy system. That's actually true, by the way. They're all alchemy ingredients. That's the funny part. Did a Wolfenstein marathon? Oh, jeez. I don't know. I lost interest when after Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Return to Castle Wolfenstein was fun. It's just when we started I don't know. Right after that, I just lost all interest in the franchise. And I've seen people playing the other ones. I've seen kind of over-the-top fun to be had. I guess I don't care. The best way to put it. Are we having fun? Well, in the royal we sense, yes. If you mean everyone in the chat, maybe. I can't say. It's a deeply personal thing. I can't speak for them. All right. Very good. We got it. Soul gem there. No idea. Right. That requires a key. Can't open that yet. Door over here. And Necromancer. Ice Mage? Level 1 Ice Mage about to kill... Oh! Well then, we're dead! I thought I could kill her in time, but... Damn. I was destroyed. Talk about legendary difficulty with combat mods. Quite frightening. Quite frightening. Almost like you shouldn't get hit. You shouldn't just stand there and let yourself take damage. Wait. Not standing there and letting yourself take damage? What is this? Daggerfall? Okay. See, that's how it's supposed to work. She's just supposed to get nuked.
Here we go.
Victory is ours. I've always wanted to say that.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Why do they all have activated werebeast blood? I don't understand. That seems a bit weird. It seems like they're werewolves, or they're planning to become werewolves, or they're just... I don't know what's going on with them. Seems off. Yeah, Falmer blood elixir. Very good. It's just Falmer blood on its own. It's not an actual Falmer blood elixir. Grow back that missing limb. Mm-hmm. You installed Worm's Tooth, and the fort lets you purchase... only some of the walls seem like a static TV. Oh my goodness. Well, I've heard that the Worm's Tooth has had some texture errors. Let's just say. I've absolutely heard that before. Let me see here. Trying to see what that book is. That's the Beggar Prince. Okay. Price. What? Fisher Price. Let's move on. Partner. Doesn't a partner require some sort of set schedule? Some sort of concerted effort to be regular with your streams? I think it does. Whereas I'm bonkers all over the place. Like, whenever I have a real life obligation, I make that my priority. Otherwise, I'm streaming. Yeah. 10 days streamed a month? Interesting. Well, I haven't really requested it, I suppose. I have been pretty happy with how things have been going, so I'm just like, whatever. Anyway. Yeah. Whew. My goodness. All right, Soul Gem there. I mean, it said, like, you're good to go. You can request partnership. And then I basically ignored that and kept playing. Couple years have passed since then. All right. Let's see here. What do we have here? Still putting stuff away. Yes. Yes. Still putting stuff away. Necromancer's robes. Okay, I think we're in a good situation here. Yes, yes, and yes. Very, very good. So, let me go ahead and put Stone of Baron Zaya. Grab that. Absolutely. Got what we needed. Yeah. Kinda... oh, we got rune books. We gotta give those to Latoria. Very good, very good. I'm flashing back now to the people who said I should become a Warframe partner. And other people said, you aren't qualified to be a Warframe partner. And I looked at it, And someone on the inside said, you actually could, based on your, who you know. And I said, how about not? How about not? But who knows? I may send Twitch a request. I don't know. Things are getting a little unstable with YouTube and Twitch. So I'm like the longer this goes on, the more unstable it gets. The more I look at it like, do we want to lock ourselves into a platform? Yeah. Remember the one time someone decided they were going to stream on, was it Mixer or DLive or something? And then their page got changed to their channel got changed to hey, you should check out these other streams instead. Like they active, I don't know, just this is the type of platform you second guess wanting to be a partner on when you hear about things like that. And I'm not entirely sure. I'm just not 100% sure about it. I need a good sales pitch to convince me at this point, considering what I'm doing works for me. Speaking of what I'm doing working for me, though, give me a second to pour. Yes. There we go. And cheers, everybody. That's good. Let's go. So, what do we have? What do we have?
Is someone there?
Oh, that sounds like an Altmer. It's a shame she's an evil lady. Yeah, she's an evil lady, all right. Her unlimited power won't work against me, though. I'm an electromancer. Ugh, my goodness. Right. Ring of Aetherius, Hailstones. Very good. Oh, wow, there's a lot of ruined books around here. Let's put on Sans Torch and see what we got here. Yes. So it looks like we got various ruined books and things to poke around at. Yes, ruined books there, ruined books here. All the ruined books. Up, down, left, right. Alright. Almost done. Good. These ruined books, we need to give to Latoria. So Latoria will be able to take all of the ruined books we have, and a couple days later, she'll give me spell scrolls, tomes, our spell tomes, rather, and various other things based on what she was able to convert the ruined books back into. It takes about 20 ruined books to get one reward, quote unquote. So, but she can process them all at once. You don't have to give her just 20 books at a time, it turns out. That's rather nice, actually. I remember when she could only take 20 books at a time in the very beginning, and it was tedious, to say the least. Now you just hand her all of your books at once and go, time to process. I like how Elena was just sitting in the middle here the whole time. She didn't care. She didn't care at all. All right. My goodness. I think that's that. Let's move on, shall we? Snowberries. I think, yeah, that's the way onward. Before we go onward, though, we want to throw down a save. That's pretty important, yes. Okay. What do we got? We got squash, And we do have potatoes. We'll eat those potatoes right now. We're also getting tired, it looks like. I wonder if we can just sleep in this place. You know, have our have our followers act as bodyguards. Nope, there are enemies nearby, so we ain't gonna be able to do any of that for sure. Mm-hmm. What was that?
And they're dead.
Oh no, it was a novice. She's level 1. The weakest of the necromancers suddenly just pops out and, well, they're conjurers. Doesn't matter. We got the key. That's what we came here for, or what we needed to be able to go back and check out all the previous areas. Pretty sure all the doors just interconnect and make it a shortcut, a series of shortcuts anyway. Doesn't matter too much. We're gonna really quick grab that rune book. Why are there so many rune books everywhere? It's so silly. Inkwell, no problem there. Mm-hmm. Okay. We can sleep here now. Let's just sleep for 8 hours and get going. Yes. Bam. Okay, we are now we're just rested, not well rested. We get well rested from doing very specific things. We're going to have a chat with Elena about certain food items, specifically an apple cabbage stew, and maybe an elsewhere fondue, and a horker stew as well. So we've just had 3 stews, which is a bit much. Technically, we should be overburdened from our great food, but no, not really. We're picking up the silver specifically, which is very good. We can melt down the silver later. There's a Giuliano shrine here, so apparently the god of logic and reason is at least a little bit, not worshipped, but maybe recognized. I guess the shrine blessings are up to the individual. But we'll eat the sweet roll, because we can. I'm going to sneeze in a second. There we go. Okay. That worked. What's in the adept chest? That's the question. Howdy, Oni. Good to see you. Let's pop back into this. And what do we got? Adept's robes. No problem there. And in the table we got septums. Mushrooms, some garlic. Nothing really major, but we'll take it anyway. Put it all in our crucible. If it's an alchemy ingredient, it can fit in the crucible. The crucible's like a bag of holding. It reduces the weight to 0, infinite amount of food, not food, alchemy ingredients specifically. Kind of interesting the way Skyrim separates food and alchemy ingredients, whereas all the items in Fallout 4 are actually flagged as alchemy ingredients. And that's because of the way their quote-unquote cooking system works. No, it's not like the ESO craft bag. ESO craft bag, you can craft directly from it. Whereas with the Crucible, if we click on it here, it acts as a container. We have to not sneak. Then we go over here, use the Crucible. And you can see this is the container that holds all the items. It's considered exterior to your character, but you access it by clicking on the Crucible. Yes. Anyway, it just stores them. We'll have to take everything out of the Crucible when we actually want to do alchemy, but, you know, having all of our alchemy ingredients wherever we go is nice. And that's what the Crucible does. Talk to Elena really quick. Give her the extra food items we picked up. A lot of butter and squash and things. No problem there. Talk to Rumarin. Give him the various weapons and things that we... we picked up the staves that we're not going to use, as well as any robes or junk that we don't care about. So, everything's considered a quote-unquote aid item. Yes. But what I'm talking about is they're all considered alchemy from the internal, the game's actual internals. Not just quote-unquote aid, but if you actually study the the internal flagging. It literally says alch for alchemy. But then again, the vertibirds use dragon logic. So yeah. All right, let's get going. We got the ritual chamber.
So you're the one who barged into my home and laid waste to my projects.
Hold on a second. Are you really saying that they copied their projects? Excuse me. Hold on. Copied their projects. Let's go over this really quick. It should be Todd Howard brief moment. Let me see.
I've spent the whole time at one place working with the same people and in many ways making the same game over and over again.
All right, let's get going.
How nice to meet you.
Indeed. Who are you?
Names no longer matter. You may refer to me as the Caller. Now, do you have a reason for making such a mess?
I'm here for the books from the college.
So you're just one of Auryen's lackeys. That's disappointing. You show real promise. You come here, kill my assistants, disrupt my work. You've annoyed me, so I don't think I'll be giving you anything.
All right. Let me leave here with the books and there won't be any more trouble.
Fine. Take them and be gone. Never return here, or else you'll face my full wrath.
Okay. Her full wrath. Wrath, you see. Not wrath, wrath. Okay, we're gonna get this fang, and then we're just gonna sneak behind her and slit her throat. What? I can't slit her throat? Excuse me. Now we can slit her throat. This is fine. Yes. Good. See? Harvest the body. Gotta get that high-quality hominid flesh. That's Altmer flesh. Yes, I know. Looks like we got opulent mage boots. Novice mage robes. That's pathetic. Okay. We convinced her. Nice Night of Tears. That's one book. And then we got On Our Teum. That's another book. And then we got Last King of the Aliens. Oh no. Did you know the Last King of the Aliens was mysteriously teleported to Elder Scrolls Online's Cold Harbor? And he's there at the Lightless Oubliette. Was it? No, that wasn't where he was. I'm trying to remember now where he was. Oh well, doesn't matter too much. We got our stuff, so that's the important thing. We got a Potema silver piece that belongs in a museum, absolutely. So yes, let me see here. No big deal. Yeah. I despise everything they do with Vanis Galerian in ESO, but I actually like how the Last King of the Aliens was this heroic man who was going to sacrifice his life to save Tamriel and defeat Molag Bal. It was honestly just the right level of cheese. It's obviously not good for a living, breathing world, but what? Oh, the hide helmet? No, it's a lie. That's a lie. I already have one in the museum. It doesn't know. It's a bug. I read it on the internet that this mod has a few bugs. I read it on the internet, so it's true. Yes. Hold on.
I read on the internet that our games have had a few bugs. I did. I read it on the internet, so it's true.
Yes. Yeah, that mod has a few bugs. All right. Lavender there. Roll of paper. Pretty sure there's nothing else I need from here. Just want to double check. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. We can harvest this body as well. Gotta get that raw hominid flesh from our targets. A nice pristine cut of meat. Can I actually harvest her body as well? Yes, yes I can. Alright. We're getting nice cuts of meat. That's what I'm talking about. Wait, is that something with accessories? Common clothes with accessories. I wasn't expecting a with accessories part, but hey, whatever. Why is there a tankard in a bull? Stupid. I think we're done here. We did what we needed to do. Very good. So, we are ready to proceed. Rolls of paper can be used for various things, including the copying of books. There are many specific items that can be copied in the gallery, but you need paper, ink, and a couple other things to copy them successfully. Why is there salmon in this tiny little pool? Seems like that fish would die. Well, that's about it. Harvest his body. Excellent. I think that's about it. We just had one conjurer out here. Well, we got the books. That's the important part. I suppose we will go back and free Orthorn now. That's fine. I've decided that he can live after all. Yeah, let's go free Orthorn. Mm-hmm. Let's go. I say as I realize I'm going in all directions but where I'm supposed to go. Let's just go to the end and go backwards. I feel like I might find some more stuff I missed there. Can't harvest her body anymore. I think that orc flesh, normal, untainted elf flesh, human flesh, and beast race, like Argonian Khajiit flesh, should all be different. And that way we could have some prime cuts of Argonian, like roast Argonian, roast, roast human, roast elf, roast orc. And like cook up some fantastical dishes based on them. Be known as the gourmet for these terrible, unfortunate peoples. All shall know you in despair, lest you be his next meal that he cooks up. He'll capture you and force you to force you to eat the food of your oh, here, hold on. Go back to the dungeons. Argonian would be dry and tough. My goodness. Silent elf. My goodness, your former companions, yes. Very good. How you doing, Orthorn? Alright, that's it. We freed him. He's supposed to tell you about the collar. There's supposed to be this really big deal to do with the collar. But I killed the collar. So he just goes, He has nothing else to say. He can either be convinced to flee the dungeon or fight the collar with you. Ebony Greatsword, that belongs in a museum. Excellent. So glad we got a nice item out of this that actually does belong in the museum. I mean, the books technically do, but we have to copy those. So, we'll go over how to copy those in a minute. Oh, expert robes of destruction. Shame I use my expert armor of destruction. Let's pull the other switches. Nothing? Nothing. I think Orthorn just lives here now. Yeah. Because he was never sent the signal to leave. It's okay, though. If you free him, he will relocate to a tavern. That's where she is. That's where the books are. He finally said his line, and now he's stuck. We broke him by doing this out of order. Glorious, Bethesda, glorious. Yes. What's healthy for one race might not be healthy for another. So when we say, you know, cuts of certain races might be the most healthy, we're really just spitballing that. Yes. Okay, we're still, oh, vampire dust, nice. Need more of that. Prime Argonian meat. Oh no. I can just imagine this real malicious Dunmeri family, part of House Dress, that is always in the market for new Argonian slaves because they eat their old ones when they basically work them to death and then eat them when they're just on the verge of giving out, and then they just go and buy another one to replace the one that they ate. I'm just imagining like a really terrible Dunmeri family, which is something out of a House of Horrors, and maybe they don't just eat Argonians. Maybe they, eat Khajiits and maybe even the occasional human, because that we've seen all of those can be slaves in Morrowind. So, have you noticed any issues with Rebirth and Tamriel Rebuilt? The only issues with Rebirth and Tamriel Rebuilt is that Rebirth is a low-powered game, like game balance. Rebirth re-rolls all of Rebirth re-rolls all of the world, basically, and makes it all lower powered. It takes longer to get up there in strength, and the gear that is top tier is harder to get your hands on. So knowing that, you can go to the mainland and find some really stupidly powerful stuff very easily, because Tamriel Rebuilt is balanced around vanilla Morrowind, and Morrowind Rebirth is balanced around, makes its own new lower powered balance. So that's, if you care about the balance that Rebirth creates, then they aren't really compatible in that sense. But if you don't care about that balance at all, then there's no reason not to use both at the same time. Yeah. You can just use both, and it's really fun. Eventually, I imagine someone will make like an extreme compatibility patch. For now, it doesn't matter. All right, there we go. My goodness. Well, I mean, if you're talking about the Red Guards, I'm sure they're prime cut of meat as well. We can tear them to pieces just the same as we tear the Nords to pieces. That said, the Red Guards seem to be a lot nicer than the Nords on average. But, like, we look at this hunter who died. She died the death, right? So, what we do is we just kind of pull out our dagger and say, hey, how nice would it be if we had a little piece of her to take with us? So there we go. Harvest. And that's in addition to her inventory, which is full of animal meat. All delicious. Now this sprig in here, we can harvest its ingredients. Search its body for any extra loot. There's nothing there. Dispose of it. Looks like there's another hunter there to eat as well. What is this knife? Damn. That was some powerful knife. Shame it didn't go anywhere. Yes. Well, harvest the body. I think we got a note, a hunter note. Hunter. Apparently Charis eggs. And large antlers. We learned the slow effect from the large antlers, by the way. Those hunter notes tell you what different ingredients do, which is nice. Am I a cannibal, or do I use it for very specific research? Yes. What if I told you that hominid flesh could be converted into an alchemy ingredient if taken to a cooking pot? And it could be used for great purposes. Purposes to help us all. Also, I may have made a human stew once, and it was pretty good. So it's possible that we may have dabbled in cannibalism a little bit, but we're also a master chef. Those who were here for the cooking stream will know that our character is indeed a master chef. And so understanding that, we attempted to use all the ingredients at our disposal, and one of those happened to be human flesh. Wow, 168 books from that place. That is glorious. 168 books is... like, we're going to get a decent amount of stuff from Latoria when we actually send that to be processed. Very good. Before we do anything else, though, we need to make sure Elena gives us back our black soul gems. We need those. Yes, we have 6 black soul gems to process. Some human flesh and Jaren root. Oh, nice. Yes. Yep. Elf eating human, is that cannibalism? Yes. Well, the truth is that humans... Oh, I kicked a puppy. I'm afraid Celril kicks puppies, as you can see. The game has decided that's going to be the result. Damn shame, damn shame. Now, as I was saying, yes, in the Elder Scrolls universe, and in most fantasy universes, actually, cannibalism is a sentient race eating another sentient race. That's what cannibalism is considered in most fantasy worlds. Not always true, but, well, what about eating monster meat? Are the monsters sentient? We don't really think about it that way. We really don't think about it that way. So, see, as long as you don't think about it too much, it's okay. Right. So, moving on, we are going to... I suppose we need to return the books, but first we need to go to the gallery. So let's go to Whiterun. Let's see if we've done any tasks to warrant Avenici praising us again. And if the answer is no, we'll go check out the notice board. Then we'll take a wagon back over. Yes, Wood Elves are known for cannibalism, correct. As far as we know, the Green Pact said that, oh, Bandit Chief is fighting that giant. Interesting. I'm just going to let them duke it out. Oh, yeah. That's pretty funny. Anyway, so, as far as the Bosmer go, it was said previously that the, oh god, yeah, those giants are quite dead. Sorry. It was said that previously the Bosmer used to eat the corpse, like anything they killed, they had to eat. However, ESO said, well, technically, that's the meat mandate, and it's not actually part of the Green Pact, and they don't follow that ritual anymore. And there's a whole quest line about how one Bosmer tribe poisoned their own, they basically drank this poison so that when they were killed, their meat would be poisonous, and they killed off the tribe that killed them, like kind of a revenge after death sort of situation. And it was a way of stopping the this hostile tribe of Bosmer. by poisoning their meat. Yes. And thus the that was their explanation as to why the Bosmer don't follow that mandate anymore. Ook, instantly killed. 2 arrows. Clunk. And that's it for me. I can tell I wasn't in a good situation there. I don't think Ebony Flesh was on. I'm pretty sure that it didn't trigger properly. So we're gonna, before we move on, we're going to actually recast. We're going to have on one side, it's going to be Ebony Flesh. On the other side, it's going to be Fast Healing. I'm going to make sure that these are set up there. Did the Wild Hunt turn them into feral? Yeah. ESO's Wild Hunt is just like, they turn into feral Bosmer and werewolves. It's really stupid. Just arbitrarily. Some of them turn into werewolves and some of them turn into feral Bosmer, and it's just terrible. Like, are those eldritch monstrosities? No, they aren't. Sorry. They're just generic and lazy. Let me see here. Oh, yes. Contingency. Contingency trigger should be entering combat. There we go. 2 spells added to contingency. That should do it. Yes. You say MMOs always play it safe, but that's not always true. It's, oh, nice. I hate archers. Yes. We are generic nodes talking, yes. Where do the Falmer fall in? Well, as far as we know, the Falmer don't even have black souls for black soul gems anymore. They have the same soul types as animals because Bethesda games. Sorry, they aren't people anymore. Sorry. The Falmer are just monsters. But the storyline says that they're people. Yeah, the game mechanics don't respect that. The game mechanics are pretty terrible. In that respect, anyway. Okay, let's continue on to Dragon's Reach. Good. You said Tor played it safe, so they got rid of everything Star Wars related for Knights of the Fallen Empire, Knights of the Eternal Throne. What do you mean everything Star Wars related? Wasn't that the Sith Empire? Sorry. What do you mean they got rid of everything Star Wars related? That, like, Knights of the Eternal Empire, Knights of the Fallen Empire, Knights of the Eternal Throne are the most Star Wars things that had ever done. The whole, like, the generic storylines, that they told in the main class stories were nothing compared to those two, and they weren't even expansions, really. They were their own standalone stories. So, I'm trying to figure out exactly what you mean by that. They got rid of all the Star Wars stuff. That doesn't make sense to me. At all. Jeez. They didn't feel like Star Wars to you? To me, those are the only Star Wars feeling stories in the entirety of, like, all of the class stories and everything. Like, the Jedi Knight story is so contrived. The only thing that I at all enjoyed was maybe the bounty hunter, the agent, and the Sith, the Sith Inquisitor was all right, but the Sith Inquisitor was like, I'm gonna superpower you up with all these Force ghosts. Yes. I'd argue that those two quote-unquote expansions those were the only parts that actually felt like Star Wars. but that was because you are Jedi Knight. You defeat Sith Lord. A Sith God, basically. Sith God inhabits your body, and you have little conversations about the true nature of the Force every once in a while you're busy trying to save the galaxy from the Sith God's very, very bad son, who has gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It was the closest thing we ever got to Knights of the Old Republic again. And then they basically ended the story at that point. The Dawn Guard.
Yeah? You change your mind? The Dawn Guard could use somebody like you.
No thanks. It didn't feel like Avatar at all. I'm sorry, you're just simply wrong. But I will say though that the ending is terrible. The ending of those two expansions is just awful. It's like, oh, that guy who's been inhabiting you the whole time, now he's back and powerful and gonna possess all of you, kill you, whatever. It's an existential threat. You need to stop him together with the power of all of your Force ghosts combined. I am Captain Planet. Yeah, I don't know. I don't the ending was awful.
They say the college has been snooping around Sarthal.
Mm-hmm. No, the Eternal Empire was nothing like the Fire Nation.
If you need potions, you should try Arcadia's.
No, the God Emperor, who it was absolutely nothing like Ozai. Okay, so it's getting late here. Oh, it's early in the morning, I should say. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Starwind. In general, if you want to inject science fiction to Morrowind, I'm gonna do a hard pass until I see evidence that it's actually good. Let's put it like that. Yeah, if you're gonna try to, let me see here. SW. Wait, are you saying it's an SW Tor? Oh, it's yeah. So it's, I don't know. Just that's weird and yeah. I was gonna say, Morrowind's engine really isn't suited to that kind of storytelling at all. Star Wars: The Old Republic? What? Well, I mean, The Old Republic. Never mind. I'm not interested. Let's leave it at that. If I see some evidence that it's actually good, I'll change my mind. I'll have an open mind, but in the sense that I'm not going to hinge on its development. You say it's making decent progress, that's great. Again, when it's ready to play, that's when I'll back it or not. And when I say back it, I mean I will, advertise it as the good thing that it is. All right. Let me see here. You said, yeah, Knights of the Old Republic. Exactly, so. don't really care at the moment then. Knights of the Old Republic in Morrowind doesn't sound glorious to me. Sorry. I need to go back. I need to talk to Avenici, make sure everything's square with him. If everything's square with Avenici, we'll go and we'll go to the notice board, go to the Bannered Mayor, wherever we have to go. I was wandering around looking for stuff. No, it just sounds weird and stupid to me right now. I mean, they have done really good stuff with the Quake engine, I admit. Like, they've done some really good Star Wars stuff in the Quake engine. So, shrug, maybe it's good? You know, Gold SRC, the Quake 2 engine? Slash Half-Life. Everything based on Quake, yes.
One of the guards said he saw a mage appear at the thin air. Claimed it was one of those Sijic monks. Man's been hitting the skooma, I say.
Oh, yeah, mages. So, those Sijic monks just popping all over Skyrim for no reason. That's great. Love how I can hear that Wisp Mother just kind of wandering around somewhere. What do you mean thoughts on Sky Oblivion? Skywind and Sky Oblivion both sound like they might be fun. I don't really need a remake of Oblivion or Oblivion or Morrowind. Excuse me. Oblivion or Morrowind in the Skyrim engine, but these are going to be reinterpretations with changes, so that's what makes it interesting. Is that, for example, Skywind isn't just going to be Morrowind in Skyrim. It's going to be a reinterpretation of Morrowind in Skyrim, which means that events will play out a bit differently. You know, there will be different quests, you know, that will, again, act differently because the NPCs will be able to talk and do other things. By the way, and JT Baker, thanks you for the subscription. Awesome. I was gonna say, yeah. You said Jedi Academy's in the Quake 3 engine? Yeah, pretty much. Was gonna say, check out the insanity that's Dark Forces and Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. Yeah, exactly. My goodness. Hold on a second. You said Skywind had a pre-alpha release about 6 years ago? No, it didn't. Not a real one, anyway. Hello.
Yes. I've got my eyes on you.
If you mean it had some discussion about it, some what do you call it? You might be thinking about Oblivion, because Oblivion had a release that was buggy, glitchy, broken, and it was never finished. But as far as Skywind goes, they've shown a lot of their stuff. It's true. Now, you might have... when you said a pre-alpha release, are you talking about a... some kind of leak? That's potential. Someone might have gotten their hands on a leak, possibly.
Divines bless you. May the ground you walk quake as you pass.
Yeah, give me work.
The Jarl has put out a bounty on some bandits. Here, take a look at this decree for details.
Right. Anything else?
The Jarl has put out a bounty to slay a giant. Here, take a look at this decree for details.
Rightio.
Enjoy your visit to Dragon's Reach.
Yes. I'm just here to grab jobs, that's all. Jobs, I say. Avenici. Tell me. Alright, so we got a bandit leader at the towers to kill. And we'll do that later. And then we got a giant to kill down south. Which is fine. We'll hit both of these later. We don't have to do that. We'll go by the notice board on our way out. But our job is just to get to the stables, I think. Yes. The Sky Oblivion head was in chat? Okay. Well, I didn't notice that. But yeah, it's very important to understand. Are you talking about Kyle? Because, you know, I tend to poke at his streams every, you know, once a week or so. So that's probably why he popped back in there. Yes. Ah, so you read a bullshit article. Okay, that makes sense. That's why you you said that. Okay. There we go. Best shiny trinkets. Very good, very good. Mm-hmm. You said the project lead of Sky Oblivion said 50% and alpha at early next year. I mean, it's fine if they're ready to put out an alpha. Then people can go over it with a fine-tooth comb, look for bugs, stuff like that. It would actually streamline the process of getting it fixed and set up. Actually, that would make a lot of sense. Yes. Now let me see here. I don't think I really want to collect any gems for them, or mushroom. Nah, I don't need any of these jobs. It's fine. But no, that kind of stuff is very important, I think. Yes. Good. Yes. A lot of people, a lot of these projects are afraid of putting out pre-releases, but when it's a Bethesda release, that's actually a good thing because it can help you tighten up your development. A lot of people can send in bug reports and things like that of specific things, make it all work right. And that's that. So, yes. With non-Bethesda projects, there's a problem. And that is, once you release it, something like Nintendo, for example, could take it down. You know, if it's a Metroid project, or if it's a Pokemon project, the Pokemon company could take it down. See what I'm saying? There's, unfortunately, what you said, Baldur's Gate 3. Well, Baldur's Gate 3 is not an official project. Baldur's Gate 3 needs, Baldur's Gate 3 is not a mod. That's what I meant to say. Baldur's Gate 3 is it's an official project, and so completely different rules apply. You're paying for it. And, that's all I gotta say is, you're paying for early access to it. This isn't a free, look at it. This isn't a early, an early run at everything. It's a completely different topic entirely. Yes, exactly. Just remember, Nintendo had the rights to the Mario Brothers porno. Well, yes, they do. But the only reason they have the rights to that is because they want it to die and go away forever. They don't want anyone to get that. So, whoops. I'm just putting this stuff away. Here we go. Here we go. Need to fix something. All right, hello, sir.
Where do you want to go?
Sorry. Yeah, they don't want anyone else to put it out, which is why they won the rights in court and then prevented its distribution, and they're just holding on to it. That's basically it. Yes. Who was the guy who wanted the porn of his game? It was Yoko Taro. I think it was. Let me see here. All right. So let's pull up a Destructoid article just because that's the easiest way to go with that. So as far as the Destructoid, you can see right here. Let me see. Yoko Taro actually posted this right here, where he basically said, a lot of pictures have been uploaded, ass turmoil, but it's troublesome to go and collect. Please zip it and deliver it every week. That's what he said. That's the Nier Automata He said, yes, so please zip it and deliver it every week. It's very difficult for me to go around and collect this stuff, he said. So, yeah, it's, that was, Nier Automata's, thing here, is he, you know, like there's a lot of controversy going on. Yeah, he's very concerned about it. So, but you know, he needs people to deliver it to him, basically. And then he goes, "It's amazing." And let's see here. Thank you. There we go. So afterward it was yeah. Hold on. Yeah, let me find it here. Okay. Here we go. When I wrote "to be pictures with zip," it seemed, yes, the zip really came. The internet is amazing. Exactly. He's like, they actually gave me the zip file. The internet is amazing. Quickly. Yeah. It's, yep. Okay. So either way, we're going to Hafengar.
I went straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere?
To Solitude, yes.
Don't do charity.
No charity.
All right.
Was there anything else?
Oh no.
Our transaction complete.
Transaction. The more empty this land seems, the Khajiits say. Well, I know why.
The more empty this land seems.
Well, it is pretty empty, isn't it? Then again, there are issues. So we're gonna have a chit chat with what's it called? Elena about the different septum, right? We need all the septums. Then we need notes. Yes, the Khajiit caravan notes. Excuse me?
Was there anything else?
Can I use your caravan notes?
Of course.
We are going to really quick just get some money from the caravan notes. No problem there.
Come and browse on goods.
Yes. And also your coin, yes. Alright, we got it. The whole area northwest of Whiterun is nothing. Oh, how empty this land seems, yes. So how much money did we just get from turning in all the notes and stuff? A decent amount. I think if we type in, yeah, we're at 8,000. That's fine. Hello?
Yes?
Let's go.
Where do you want to go?
Don't worry about it. We're just gonna head on over to Hafengar.
Straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way?
No, just straight through.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Okay. Yes.
Better bundle up. This may keep up for a while.
But yeah. Yoko Taro is an interesting sort of guy. He autographed a fan's leg once, and the internet went apeshit. Like, he's not respecting the boundary between fans and creators and this and that. And it's like, first of all, the quote-unquote fan who asked to have her leg signed is like a, how shall I put this? More or less a, I'm trying to find a word that's not offensive. I suppose she does, she's sex work adjacent, let's just say. She's sex work adjacent. All right? That's number one. And number two, she asked him for it. Yes, she asked for it specifically in public, in front of everybody. This guy, he's the master teleporter there. Bink. 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 Yes. Yep. So, yeah. But the internet got very angry about it. And of course, rumors started spreading that she was underage. It's like, no, she's not underage. And if she was, the type of content that she has, that would be a problem. But, immediately rumors started flying, and it was the internet being the internet. Hear ye, hear ye.
It's not much to ask. Hear ye! Hear ye!
Attend now for the news of the hour. By lawful decree of our Jarl, clan feuds and personal duels are henceforth banned within the walls of solitude.
Goodbye.
Consent are permitted only beyond the city limit.
Yes. Good. More variety of pricing models? What are you talking about, pricing models? You're going to have free-to-play games with, if anything, you're going to see a progression toward gacha-style gambling mechanics and possibly legislation against them. That's all you're really going to see in the future. Otherwise, the kind of variety that you've seen thus far is what to expect moving forward. Hello there.
Dean Inga says a bard can never have enough practice. So, would you like a tune?
Well, apparently you play well.
Thank you. I'm still at the beginning of my lessons, but Inga, Dean Six Fingers, says I'm quite good with the flute.
Oh, you're a flautist. You know what they say.
Thanks for taking the time. People never want to talk to me.
Wow. Okay. Well then. Okay. So, moving on, we just grabbed all the alchemy ingredients we could from here. Technically, it should all be considered stealing, ripping up people's flower beds and all, but who cares, right?
Hello there.
Hello, indeed. Look at this guy's amazing earrings. See, this is what we got Skyrim for. These amazing men and their amazing earrings. Yes.
No doubt most folk in Skyrim consider the dragons terrifying. I find them wondrous.
Really? Good. Now, let's get going. Remember when PlayStation official Twitter account put up that trailer? God, what was it? It was where you played a Twitch moderator or something. It was, God, what was it called? No, it was, oh damn. Let's see. Let me see here. Yes. The FMV adventure. Let's see. They remain silent about that. Yes. It was a thing. Let me pull up the title for it, because there's no way I'm gonna play the trailer here. But here you go. This was the yes. They had that trailer up for like a day before they pulled it down, because it was legitimately offensive. I mean, to a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons. It was legitimately offensive. So, oh my goodness. All right, we got some 600 septums there. Yes. Now, as far as what we want to do, we need to copy these books. We need to go into the staff barracks really quick and see about this. My goodness, we have to immediately see about copying the books. We're going to see about a replica workshop, see if we can make it here. Let me see. Stonehand manuscript. Oh, we can make... Oh, Werewolf Totem replicas. We forgot about these other two. Okay, we need to make replicas of these totems right now, actually. Hold on. So we need leather and leather strips. So, whoops, I accidentally put, hold on. I have to pay attention to this. So we need some leather and leather strips. Good. Let's get going. So, let me see here. Werewolf totems, we need both of them, yes. Looks like the other werewolf totem, looks like we're missing the bone meal required. That's extra annoying now. I don't know which one's which. Yeah, it looks like we got that werewolf totem replica. I'm gonna say, I don't know which werewolf totem replica is which, unfortunately. Oh, well, no big deal. It's just something we're gonna have to deal with as we move forward. So, contemplating what else we got, and we need to process. I guess we have the various daggers for the apprentices. We need iron for that, for the different things. We're gonna actually go over here, access the ingots and ore. Gonna grab some iron, grab some steel, and now we should be able to handle this a bit better. We need to grab Rune's dagger with a see, Forge Master's fingers we already have. Just trying to make sure we have everything we need. Let's see, a replica of the Fang. We already have a replica of the Fang. I know where we have to go. So, where's the Crusader armor from? The Crusader armor is from the Legacy of the Dragonborn, obviously. If you mean where you find it, you're going to have to pick up the quest. Good luck. Well, then I have to figure out where we need to go next. Well, actually, you can get the Crusader armor on the Creation Club, and it's very high quality, except it's a lot worse than the one you get as a part of Legacy of the Dragonborn. All right. Oh, yes, I remember now. Library. Library. We got to roll our way over to the library. Hey, Ellen, I need you to temporarily take these items I picked up because I thought I was actually going to be doing some real processing of goods. Turns out not so much. So, yes. Let's go in here. This is the section of the library where we can make copies. The printing press. Yes, the printing press. Children of the Sky. Mercer's plans. Oh yeah, replica of Mercer's plans. So we need more inkwell and more paper. Got it. So, excusez-moi. We need to actually, yeah, inventory, not magic. We need inkwell. Yeah, we need inkwells, and we need paper. Yes. Should be able to do this there. Okay. Mercer's plans? Yes. Let me see here. On our Arteum? Yes. Oh, we lack the leather. So we need, leather for the binding of the book. Got it. My goodness. Inkwell, paper, yeah. Leather storage, just leather. Can you tan it? No. We cannot tan. We gave her the... God damn it, Elena. You're gonna start... She's looking at what that Khajiit's reading. She's getting very curious about that Khajiit. I have no doubt that we leave them alone for a while, nothing bad will happen. My goodness. Okay. Let's continue this. So, as I was saying, we need to place several books. We need, well, pretty much all of these books, really, but we're going to grab the Night of Tears, I believe, okay, it was Night of Tears, On Arteum, and Last King of the Aliens. Those were the three that I need right now. Additionally, we got Children of the Sky, Chim, and the Kavakis. Song of the Alchemist, Souls, Tradition, War of the First Council. That's fine. Okay, that should do it. We've created enough duplicate books so that when we process everything into the gallery, we won't have to worry about messing up this whole thing, this whole quest. We're not actually processing anything into the gallery today, which is why there's no tour. Yes, indeed. What's my favorite lore book? Probably the Archurian Heresy. Whoops. Hello.
Oh, you're here.
Yes, I am, but I'm leaving now. I need to head on out. The best lore book, though, good luck on that one. Best is very, very difficult to pin down. But there are several very interesting ones. I mean, if you just want to check out the entire saga of Panael Whitestrake, then that's fun. It's extra crazy, but it's extra crazy for a reason. It's because that's the history of here we go. Hold on.
Why have these foul creatures returned to Skyrim? Are they punishment for our sins from the divines?
Yes. Okay. Oh, that guy reading his pamphlet. Yep. Why have these foul creatures returned? Yes. Yeah, you know that the Lusty Argonian Maid is in ESO, and when people asked, how can that be an ESO when Crassus is the man who made it in Morrowind? And their answer was to publish a new lore book in ESO called The Lusty Argonian Maid, An Oral Tradition, where they explained that it was an ancient story from handed down, and that the guy who claimed to have wrote it in Morrowind stole it. Yes. It was pretty fucking terrible how they have absolutely no respect for the older, like the continuity of anything, so they just claim everything existed in the Second Era. Or that the best one are for the other books, where this guy says, what was it? Ah, yes, this library pulls books through time from the future. This library gathers up books from all different eras. Thanks for that.
Need a ride?
Yes. Yep. There's dialogue in Oblivion where people are excited for the second volume. Yes. Correct. The continuity doesn't make any sense and no one cares. All right?
See ya.
That's it.
Good afternoon. Where do you want to go?
Yes. There is literally a library that pulls books from the past, present, and future. Yes. Exactly. Anyway. Let's go ahead and go to Winterhold.
Climbing back and we'll be off.
Yes, we gotta go.
You ever met one of them cats? Khajiit, I think they call themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I hear there's whole countries full of them down south.
Yes. All right, here's another clip from that that game that I was talking about with another picture from this game where you're supposed to play as a moderator and try to prevent everything from going horribly wrong. It's really awful, actually. It's, they only had the trailer up for like a day. Someone else sent that to me. It's like, yeah, that's from the trailer, all right. God. To think they thought that would fly. It was generally offensive to anyone who streams. Generally offensive to people who don't stream. Yeah. You just saw the trailer. What the hell were they thinking? Yeah. Winterhold looks cozy. Well, I mean, it's still only a handful of buildings. You know, the Great Jarl of, like, the Great Jarl and his 3 buildings. But other than, I mean, the Dawn Guard. Yes. There are city walls here and over there. That's about it, though. Just a couple city walls. Now, let me see here. You play as a moderator who controls her life. Yes, exactly. It's pretty creepy. They didn't really think that one through. Yes. The Jarl of 3 buildings. Massive authority. Okay.
Move quickly, Swit. Move quickly, Swit. Look alive, apprentice. Something you need, you miserable wretch. On your way of milk, drinker.
Yes. Yes, indeed. All right. Indeed. Skyrim had a population of about 2,000. That's pretty awful, actually. Yes. Look, we've got the sphere. It's here. Oh, I like how it's labeled the Eye of Magnus now. What is this sphere potentially called? It's called the Eye of Magnus. How do you know that? Because I moused over it. What? Nothing. I looked at it.
Good to see Skyrim still has such fine people. You give an old man hope.
Looked like you could use a hand.
Well, yes. This is rather embarrassing, but it seems I've misplaced something. I seem to have misplaced the book I was reading. If you happen to see it, would you mind bringing it to me?
I'm just now thinking about the quest. What was it? Let me see here. I think it was a very particular thing. It was called quests. No. Oh, there we go. This was okay. I need you to get me that book, but it's right there. Quests are when people tell you to do things they're too lazy to do themselves. Yes. There you go. Okay. Kaboom. Kaboom. Mirabelle Irvine, Master Spellslinger.
Well, you're certainly making a name for yourself.
Am I? Am I really? I need to go upstairs. I need to return the books to the Arcanium. Yes.
Illusion really is the least appreciated of the schools of magic.
Sure. Hello, sir.
Hundreds of years have gone into assembling this collection. It's going to stay pristine, understand?
Here are the books that went missing.
Well, well. And you seem to be in one piece. Thank you. I'll look these over and inform Mirabelle if I find anything relevant. Night of Tears, eh? I remember this one. Well, isn't that interesting? Did you read it yourself? If I recall it correctly, that has some interesting implications. You should mention that to Toldir. And here. I suppose you've earned these.
You've earned these. Yes. Okay. Good intentions. Speak to Tolftir. Got it.
Until next time.
So I got books I don't need. You've earned these other books.
Don't bother the Archmage unless it's absolutely necessary.
The professors scatter all these books, and yet I'm the one they blame if they aren't back on the shelves.
Right. But to be fair, that's how a library works too. Alright, Tolftir, let's have a chit-chat about this.
The college will be here for you no matter what. We always look after our own.
Urag said I need to talk to you.
Did he now? Does he have information about our wonderful discovery?
Yes, about the Night of Tears, I believe?
Is that the one about something buried beneath Sarthal? Something that men and Mare fought over? I'll have to make a point of rereading it. I don't recall the details. I just can't seem to tear myself away. Whatever this is, its beauty is like nothing I've ever seen before. If you'd allow me to indulge myself for a moment, I thought I might make a few observations. I'm sure you've already noticed the markings. They're quite unlike anything we've seen before. Eliad, Dwemer, Daedric, not even Falmer. None of them are a match. Quite curious indeed. Now, I'm not sure that you're quite as attuned as I am, given my extensive years of experience, but can you feel that? This marvelous object, it practically radiates magicka, and yet it's unlike anything I've felt before. Archmage Auryen is already hard at work, and hopefully we'll have more information soon.
I see.
I'm afraid I must intrude. It is urgent that I speak with your associate immediately.
This is most inappropriate. We're involved in serious research here.
Yes, I've no doubt of its gravity. This, however, is a matter that cannot wait.
Well, I'm quite sure I've never been interrupted like this before. The audacity. I suppose we'll continue this at some later time, when we can avoid interruptions.
I need you to come with me immediately. Let's go. Really? Well, allow me to clarify the situation. I'd like to know why there's someone claiming to be from the Psijic Order here in the college. More importantly, I'd like to know why he's asking for you, specifically. So we're going to go have a little chat with him and find out exactly what it is he wants.
Alright, I was gonna say, why are you so concerned about this?
I'll be the one asking the questions. All you need to know is that the Psijic Order is a rogue organization, believing themselves to be above the law. They have clashed with the Aldmeri Dominion before, and I have no intention of allowing that to happen here.
Right. Alright, I'm on board with this. I suppose we don't want to upset the Aldmeri Dominion, being that I'm a member of it. No? I guess you may have forgotten that.
Now, you are going to speak to this monk and find out why he is here, and then he will be removed from college grounds.
Okay. So we're going to the Archmage's quarter. Quick save!
Please do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm.
Okay, Starfield. Going in reverse. This is a Microsoft screensaver.
It is good to meet you in person.
Yes. Alright, what do you want with me?
I merely wish to talk to you. I've given us a chance to speak privately. But I'm afraid I can't do this for long. We must be brief. The situation here at your college is of dire importance, and attempts to contact you, as we have previously, have failed. I believe it is due to the very source of our concern. This object, the Eye of Magnus, as your people have taken to calling it. The energy coming from it has prevented us from reaching you with the visions you have already seen. The longer it remains here, the more dangerous the situation becomes. And so I have come here personally to tell you it must be dealt with.
Right. So, if it's dangerous, what does that have to do with me?
You set this chain of events in motion at Sarthal. You must understand the Psijic Order does not typically, intervene directly in events. My presence here will be seen as an affront to some within the Order. As soon as we have finished, I will be leaving your college. I'm all too aware that my arrival has aroused suspicion, especially in Oncano, your Thalmor associate. Nevertheless, my Order will not act directly. You must take it upon yourself to do so.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, why should I trust... No, what exactly is the problem?
As you may have learned, this object, the Eye, is immensely powerful. The world is not ready for it. If it remains here, it will be misused. Indeed, many in the Order believe it has already. Rather, something will happen soon, something that cannot be avoided.
All right. I'll help, but I don't know what to do.
Unfortunately, the future is as obscure to us as it is to you. The overwhelming power of the Eye makes it difficult for us to see.
Mm-hmm.
I fear I have already overstepped the bounds of my Order, but I will offer this. Seek out the Augur of Dunlane here in your college. His perception may be more coherent than ours.
Yeah. So, because I accidentally broke a magic seal by putting on an amulet, I put on an amulet, which allowed me to break a wall. And once I broke the wall, I released the seal on the Eye, and now the Eye is free to murder people, basically. And so now I have to go seek out the Augur of Dunlane. Yes. Makes sense to me, I suppose. Tell me about this Augur.
He was once a student here at the college. Now he is something different.
Yes. All right. So why should I trust you? No. Where can I find the Augur?
I am unsure. He is somewhere within the college. Surely one of your colleagues must know his location.
Bullshit.
I am sorry I cannot provide you with further help. But this conversation requires a great deal of effort on my part. Now, I'm afraid I must leave you. We will continue to watch over you and guide you as best we can. It is within you to succeed. Never forget that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Were you about to say something?
What is the meaning of this?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't understand.
Don't play coy. You asked to see a specific member of the college. Here he is. Now what is it that you want?
There's been a misunderstanding. Clearly I should not be here. I shall simply take my leave.
What? What trickery is this? You're not going anywhere until I find out what you're up to.
I am not up to anything. I apologize if I have offended you in any way.
Hasn't he heard of a city?
We will see about this.
Walk into a tavern, order 400 sweet rolls, and when the maid brings them over, you run.
Right.
You must excuse me. I shouldn't be here.
I'm not sure what just happened, but I assure you I will get to the bottom of it.
Right.
Whatever it is those Psijics are up to, they cannot be trusted.
Right.
For all we know, he's here to scout out the college. I'm sure they want to undermine our efforts.
What efforts?
This orb, the Eye of Magnus, whatever you want to call it, it's clearly powerful, and no doubt they want it for themselves. I expect to be informed if they make any future attempts to contact you.
Okay. So tell me about, what do you know about the Augur?
The what? No, I'm quite sure I have no idea what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest you mind your own business and return to whatever it is you do here.
Yes. All right. Okay. Right. The eye belongs in the museum, doesn't it, though? Doesn't it? Oh, that was mildly insane. Yes. Forgot the college until the writing deadline. Last minute cram session. Yeah, it's all just kind of rapid fire. Kind of stupid. So we have to go find the Augur. Yes. You're the Archmage now. You're the harbinger of the companions now. You're the leader of the Thieves Guild. You know, the Thieves Guild got severely padded with these Radiant quests. Not so much with the other factions. That was like 1 to 3 quests between each thing, but mostly it was just one. I noticed. A bit silly, actually. Let's see. And no pacing at all. It's true. It's true. It does feel like a lot of the quest line got chopped. Yep. Let me see here. The Archaeologist Guild? My goodness. You mean the modded guild from Daggerfall? I mean, we have that already in Legacy of the Dragonborn, actually. Let me see here. Checking to see if there's anything else around here. Yes. Okay. As I was saying, the Augur of Dunlane, we got, yeah, so we have to find the Augur. Let's go have a chit-chat with Tolftir, who's probably out in the Hall of the Elements or in some other stupid place. Yes, Skyrim is just easily conquerable. Oh no, the dragons, they're going to win. However, did you know? Yes.
It's always encouraging to see the younger generations embracing.
Yes, how ya?
Incident in Morthal was just a misunderstanding, no matter what the guards claim.
Hey, I actually... Rovir didn't survive.
Yes, I recognize it. Well, I suppose I needn't wonder where he is anymore.
Yeah. Yep. 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 Very good. Let's keep going. Yes, Sarah didn't survive.
Gods, this is hers, isn't it? She will certainly be missed.
Okay, next we got the ring.
Oh dear. I had particularly high hopes for her. Once she had overcome her difficulties, she could have been quite successful here.
And finally, the staff.
It certainly
dagger,
is.
yeah.
Was, I suppose. He would
Rudy's.
never have willingly parted with it. What a shame.
They're all dead. So all of the apprentices are dead.
Well, all of the previous apprentices have been accounted for thanks to you. Here, why don't you take this? It was intended to be given to the best in their group as a reward for their hard work. It's the least I can do for your help in putting this matter to rest. Oh dear, I didn't mean to say it like that. That wasn't a joke, really.
Nice. The Staff of Courage. How garbage that is. Alrighty then. Well, we dealt with that.
Now if you'll excuse me.
Yes, now we need to find Tolftir, I believe.
Mirabelle does a fine job as Master Wizard, I suppose. Still, there's always room for improvement.
Indeed, indeed.
I can't wait to see who succeeds Mirabelle. I've no doubt she'll be promoted to Archmage at some point.
Yes, about that. What, Mirabelle won't be Archmage? Huh? Weird. Okay, well, you heard about the Augur?
The Augur? Really? Well, it's certainly not my place to say anything about it. I think you'd better go see Mirabelle Irvine.
Miss Irvine, I suppose. I see. I see. Well, then, goodbye. Let me see. Where is Miss Maribel? Miss. Enchanting services, indeed. We're going to grab all the stews because they're here. along with the boiled cream treats. Now we can leave. Excelente. Excelente. On Daedra Hearts. Interesting. I can just take that, apparently. Silver Septum, Gold Septum. That's actually valuable. We just made a decent amount of money. Who made her Archmage? I like how she just arbitrarily, sorry, we're going to kill off her and the Archmage. And, you know, you get to be Archmage. I don't see Mirabelle anywhere around. I'm actually finding this a bit concerning.
But they don't seem to mind having access to enchanted weapons and armor.
Right. There we go.
What is it, Elf?
You like the story of The Witcher? I'm not... Okay, so I have not read the series in depth. I've read the first book, which turned out to just be an anthology, and then I read the second book, which is actually the first book of the series, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the writing style. I didn't really care for, you know, how it was paced, or it was a slog for me. So when I got to the games, I didn't like The Witcher 1 very much because its combat is terrible. The Witcher 2 was all right, and The Witcher 3 was an incredibly fun game that I recommend to pretty much everybody. But The Witcher 3 is very different to a lot of different games in the sense that your choices actually matter in various respects, and you can have some very suboptimal outcomes, depending, you know, doing what you might think is right. That lends itself to multiple playthroughs, and that's really cool. So, but as far as the story of The Witcher goes, other than the very basics of Geralt, you know, or should I say the video game Geralt, which is a more hands-off character, I don't know. I actually don't particularly care for the series, no. It's just The Witcher 3 video game that I liked. Yes. Yeah, the first Witcher novel is a collection of short stories. The second Witcher novel, as I understand it, is actually the beginning of the story, as it were. And I didn't care for it, really. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just not for me. Let's see here. Yeah, well, The Witcher 2 is pretty good. Unfortunately, when you get to The Witcher 3 and you copy your save over, you realize it didn't really impact very much. Yet your choices inside The Witcher 3 game do matter. So that's, you know, far more than, say, Mass Effect. Jeez. Let me see here. But, yeah, I really liked the mechanics of Witcher 3. I found the game to be legitimately enjoyable to explore and, you know, seek out all the different side quests. Complained about Riften being cold. How nice.
The last exam. Well, you shouldn't have gone drinking at the frozen hearth the night before. I thought I had mastered conjuring a bound sword. I didn't know Finnis was going to ask me to impale something with it. What's the point of conjuring a magical sword that dissipates as soon as it impales something? Finnis is an instructor of the School of Conjuration, not Destruction. Why does he care whether my bound sword really works or not? Phineas is not so bad. I'd let Phineas impale me any day. That's too much information.
Okay, then. All right. Yep. There we go. So... We need to go find Tolftir. He's probably downstairs or in the library. We're going to check this area first. He disappeared when Ancano yapped at him and said, "Oh, how rude! You interrupted me! No one ever does that! I am a prestigious instructor." Yes. How old is my character supposed to be? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Probably less than 100 years old. Probably significantly less than 100 years old. Not a youngster, but, you know, definitely, you know, we're talking close to maybe 50 or 60 years old, most likely. Yes. Okay. Where is Tolftir? Yes. The senile professor. Oh, wow. Rare book concerning the Dwemer? Really? Isn't the book I should keep looking? You should keep looking? Keep looking for what? Hold on a second. Rare book concerning the Dwemer. This isn't the book I should keep looking. Keep looking for what? I don't understand. Unique book about the Dwemer. This isn't the book I should keep looking. Keep looking for what? I don't understand. I can take these ruined books and you don't care? Nice. I like how the inkwell and the thing here, the Imperial Navy, no one cares about that.
You treating any of these books poorly.
No idea what is going on here. I should look upstairs, I suppose. Let's see. You say I'm doing the quest out of order? Well, I mean, I found a different book, and it's a bit odd. I don't know what to say about it. I know we should play our games. This is how games are played. What? Don't worry about that. Yes. Taking up on my offer, eh? Wait. For a second, I thought that was Tolftir, this groundskeeper. Crazy old man. Well, we did not find the book we were looking for, but we found a couple other ones, which is hilarious. Maribel! Maribel! Where's the augur?
That's nothing you need to concern yourself with.
Come on, help me.
Very well. It's not something often discussed, as it might be misunderstood by the locals. The augur is down in the midden, below the college. I don't recommend going down there unless it's absolutely necessary.
I see. The midden. Let's go to the midden. Let's all go to the midden. It's thinking, let's all go to the lobby. You know that song? Oh, yeah. This isn't the book I'm looking for. What book am I looking for again? Doesn't matter. We're going to the midden. Does that lead to the midden? What is the midden exactly? You don't need to know what the midden is. You don't need to know. Miss. What's in the midden? There's a shovel. There's a grindstone. A forge. An armor smithing bench. A tanning rack. Oh boy. All kinds of cool stuff. Let me see. You can't wait to meet this utterly insignificant NPC? Exactly. Huh. That door is locked. Very good. Sorry, that's irrelevant. No boy. There's ancient Nordic totems. Actually, that's a Forsworn totem? Maybe. Doesn't matter. These are irrelevant items placed in irrelevant locations. Bethesda didn't have dedicated writers. What are you talking about? Bethesda's... Okay, so the reason Morrowind's writing is quote-unquote so much better than Oblivion or Skyrim's is because they had development issues, like development pipeline issues. So a lot of their quest designers managed to churn out a lot of books, a lot of detailed books. Also, you know, like at the end of the day, you know, they just had a lot more time to work on it. The like the quest designers couldn't really design quests for a certain period of time, so they worked on the general lore and story. You'd be surprised, though. A lot of Morrowind's lore wasn't just Michael Kirkbride. People say, they should bring back Kirkbride. A lot of it was Ken Rolston as well. He is not humble about that, by the way. He flat out says, you know, like someone asked, you know, why is Elder Scrolls lore so great? And he just flat out says, a lot of Elder Scrolls lore is great because I wrote it. Like not humble at all. Just straight up, you know, like it's great because I wrote a lot of it. You know, which I understand the not being humble part because, you know, either way, point is that he was creative lead and he got to choose that he got to choose which books got in, which ones didn't. Said some are really bad. Oh my goodness. Have you actually read Ebonarm? I mean, Ebonarm is a cool concept, but have you ever tried integrating his concept into the world? It's, people go like, you know, people think, oh, we should have Ebonarm. Like, not necessarily. We should have a variation of Ebonarm. Not as he was written, but, like, a very good concept that cannot integrate into the world properly, let's just say. Unfortunately, rather than, you know, working with the material, Bethesda just removed all references to Ebonarm and said, we don't want him in our game anymore. Yes. As far as the other stuff goes, no, I really can't say... okay, as far as the Elder Scrolls lore in general go, I don't mind that, you know, some of these are unreliable perspectives, okay? My annoyance is more along the lines of what is ultimately chosen by the people who own the intellectual property is just far less interesting as a result. You know, they could have chosen to follow up some of these more crazy perspectives with, you know, some spins on them that actually fit the world. But instead, they just kind of glossed over them, said that they don't exist. Sorry, these are all made-up tales. It's like, what's the point of telling stories within stories if 99% of them are going to be completely inaccurate? Well, that's like the real world, isn't it? Yes, but it doesn't lend this particular world to being as interesting. I don't want Tamriel to be the very close to the real world. I really don't. And people tend to forget when they're they're espousing the lore, they tend to forget that ultimately the games are a performance put on for your benefit as the player. They are not actually a living, breathing world. So when the unreliable narrator is used, it should be used for the benefit of the player at some point in time. Most of the time, what we pretend is the unreliable narrator are actually the developers forgetting that they wrote things a certain way in the past and that they're different now because, you know, too many cooks in the kitchen, right? You've got different quest designers, all with their own basic ideas. And so you end up with people performing retcons who don't even know they're performing retcons. And, you know, the lore community hand waves it all as you know, unreliable narrator. But if the unreliable narrator is used correctly, then it should ultimately be used to advance the story and in an interesting direction, right? And I keep referencing the dragon, the guard who goes, "There weren't any dragons back in Tiber Septim's time. They're coming back in the first time in forever." And when you stop and you talk about how that is, you know, the unreliable narrator, because that guard is not a reliable source of information, you have to then ask yourself, is that good storytelling? And I'm not talking about does it represent the real world. I'm talking about how does misleading the player at this point in time actually benefit the story? And it doesn't at all. And frequently you'll run into these moments where the lore community will praise a particular thing, which is actually awful storytelling and, you know, has no payoff. It's setting up something that is never paid off. We call that a plot hole, by the way. And but it's not really a plot hole. I mean, you can justify it. And with enough mental gymnastics, you can justify anything. I'm not arguing whether something is canon or true within the canon. I'm arguing that it simply isn't. It doesn't serve good storytelling. Like misleading the player at that juncture, because this isn't just some obscure character in the corner of nowhere. This is a character that the player is going to interact with. When's the next Skyrim game coming out? Well, we already had Skyrim 2. It came out in Elder Scrolls Online. I don't know when Skyrim 3 is coming out. Just keep an eye out. Eventually, probably Elder Scrolls Online will put out Skyrim 3 maybe late next year, I imagine. They'll probably introduce the Dragonborns, the shout givers. Whatever, when shouting gets introduced to Elder Scrolls Online, that's when we'll have Skyrim 3. But, yeah. Let's see here. Let's go talk to this child. Huh. I see. Draugr! It's dead now. No, the Markarth isn't Skyrim 3. It's just the expansion to Skyrim 2. You said ESO will die the way Star Wars Galaxies did? No, I doubt it. I doubt it very much. Now, I have to go AFK, everyone. So, we are scouting the midden, looking for the Augur of Dunlane. Yes, indeed. A character that is so insignificant and not noteworthy at all that it's created such mystique that people have made extremely long videos about a worthless non-character. Yes. I'm about to die to Ice Wraith. Love it.
It feels good.
Yes. is a non-character. We're going to go see him. In Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall, you actually did these quests where you're supposed to protect a mage. While they prepare to ascend to Aetherius. And, well, guess what? You can fail and they will die. You can successfully help them ascend to Aetherius, and they do. That's about it. Okay, looks like we found some stuff. This mustard jar. It is a jar of mustard. Next, we got some fire salts, a ruby, a manual for the Atronach Forge. We don't need it. We really don't need it. But that's nice. Necromancer's Moon. That's to pray. After midnight in the light of the Revenant. So we can make some secret black soul gems here. Very good. Ori, how come? What do you think the best ESO expansion is? ESO never had any expansions. If you actually read or listen to all of the interviews, they will flat out tell you expansion is a dirty word because they don't want their DLCs compared to expansions. Because it turns out they don't actually have, they make you pay expansion prices for what are not expansion content. You know, it's for a single zone, basically. So yes, they call them chapters, which means that they're advancing the story by a chapter. See, we're moving the story forward, right? But they aren't expansions because expansion's a dirty word over there. Yes, indeed. Now, that said, which DLC did I prefer? And that is Orsinium. I liked Orsinium, Thieves Guild, and Dark Brotherhood. I liked all of those DLCs. I would say Summerset's pretty okay. And then Elsewhere and Skyrim are just pretty terrible, and I didn't like them much at all. Seriously. Clockwork City, despite being based pretty horribly, it's like they made a dungeon, the Clockwork City, into a zone, and they took the zone, Falkreath, and turned it into a dungeon. It's so back-asswards. Aside from that terrible back-asswards nature of ESO, Clockwork City was written fairly competently, and I loved the actual exchange the character has with Sotha Sil at the very end of the quest line, where it basically says, okay, well, you've done what you have to do here. You need to go to Summerset now. That's the whole point of that. Yes. All right. Now, let's see here. Pedestal. Now, we don't need to use the Atronach Forge. It's just nice that the thing exists. Who are you?
I wonder why the groundskeeper was down here. I just want them to like me. This isn't funny anymore. I just need to find my books.
My books? Right. Okay. Let me see. Well, I can easily understand what they're saying. That's unfortunate. Little pool of water there. Nothing special. I meant just the ghost, yes. Unless I kind of gotta do something. There we go, I think. Need to take a sip really quick. Right. So after midnight. Well, midnight's coming up in a few minutes. I'm wondering what we're doing. Why do they always pick on me? And this door leads into the Winterhold Ruins. Requires a key. This dead Draugr did not have the key. The Winterhold Ruins. I want to go into the Winterhold Ruins, but I can't go there right now. This door leads over to the Midden Dark, which we don't want to go to the Midden Dark yet, because it's past midnight. We want to try to use the altar. Excuse me. Is it the Shade of the Revenant time? Elena, I must speak with you. I must speak with you. Yes. Yes. I need all your Grand Soul Gems now. All 39 of them, yes. We must convert. Bam. 39 Black Soul Gems. Your Grand Soul Gems have been darkened. Very good. Very good. Our Soul Gems have been extra darkened. Yes. Maybe when did Elena get a...
What do you need?
We got her a crown of flowers. That's basically it. That's all she got. And nothing different. We need to put this stuff away. Yeah, we got way too much junk on us. 45 soul gems is a bit much. We're gonna get like, I don't know. Put away 40 and we'll just have 5 on us right now. That's fine. Still a bit much, but hey. With the mustard jar, who can say what's real and what isn't? Those ruined books are also causing me issues, no doubt. Anything else we need to do? I guess just put that stuff away. Rumarin, I need to give you some junk too. Good, good. You must go to the Midden Dark. Believe in yourself. Do not look into the mirror, lest you be trapped. I'm immediately thinking of this lake where the souls of the drowned are in it, and they'll you will see your loved ones in the lake, but then if you get too close, they will reach up and try to pull you into the lake. Those were good times. Those were good times. All right. That should do it. ABC for barbarians. Don't look into the mirror. We must go to the Midden Dark. Nuka Dark. Yes. Remember the Nuka rum bottles? All right. You remember reading what Lady Nerevar and Kirkbride posted way back before Coda? Which one? They posted a lot of stuff, but you know, the love letter and stuff like that are special. At the end of the day, Vivek is a stand-in for Kirkbride, and Nerevar is a stand-in for Lady Nerevar. And she let's put it like this: their fan fiction stories together are creepy when you put it into that kind of that context. They're out of game lore that they've come up with is actually extremely creepy when you put it into that proper context. That Vivek is Kirkbride and Lady Nerevar is is Nerevar reborn? Which ones? Oh boy. Look at it. Look at what the stuff they put out before Coda and after. And just Coda itself. Cheers, by the way. Ugh. There we go. Oh, we got a Wraith. And a terrible idea. Okay. That's better.
Is that your best? I certainly hope so.
Sorry, Rumarin.
Alright, that's one less thing to worry about.
That's exactly how enemies should die. Are they still married? I mean, it's none of my business, I get that, but I'm curious based on how she's talked about his works. I guess you think they are? Yeah, I think so too, based on how she talks about their works. Or his works, I should say. Oh god, it burns! I got that burning sensation all over my body. Alright. Ugh. That skeleton mage is reforming. All the bones? The physics? We got him. Alright. Mm-hmm. Ring fingers. Investigators keep midden incident report. Missing students found in the mid-morning. Dead as expected. None of us had a detect life charm for the search. Bodies found together. Suffering deformities. Got it. This relic. Oh boy. We have the research stuff. Okay, we got the family key. Note to the Archmage. Recently I visited the house, the oldest son of the house family. Let's see. Inherited from his father. Let's see. The blade is twisted. Does not want it near him or his family. Interesting. It's family heirloom. Curious magical power. Then keeping the blade. The bipolar blade of lore. Got it. So, store the bipolar blade somewhere safe where no one will touch it, but don't destroy it. Not rule out the possibility of how it's coming to claim it at a later time. Your friend, E.D. Scroll of Abjuration, we needed that. So we can get the bipolar blade. Very good, very good. Anyway, yeah, it's none of my business whether they're still married or not. I read recently. Well, we got the bipolar blade, nice. Was going to say that the most recent incident with Lady Nerevar on Twitter was the lore master said chim, C-H-I-M, is chim like cheese, right? And so she responded with, you know, I really hope this is just an oversight. And I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but I really hope this is an oversight because Michael Kirkbride's original intention was that it would be, you know, Kim like Chimera. And, yeah, it was just kind of like, oh boy, you don't know, do you? But, Lawrence Schick, the old lore master, was 50% lead writer, 50% community manager. This new lore master is like 99% lead writer and 1% I don't give a shit, but I'll respond to you on Twitter. At least that's how it seems. That's how it seems from the outside anyway. Yes. Okay. Well, the bipolar blade belongs in the museum. And that's that. But, yeah. No, Lawrence Schick was straight up doing a performance, and he had fun with it. He really did. Like, Lawrence Schick was first of all, Lawrence Schick's abilities were woefully underused. This is the guy who wrote the Dungeon Master's Guide for Dungeons and Dragons, right? He has shaped role-playing as we know it. Yeah, his work in Elder Scrolls Online did not really match the quality of his work previously, which, again, leads me to believe that they weren't really using the majority of his work, or he simply wasn't given the opportunity to, actually put his skills to use. That's number one. Number two, I don't know. I think that this new quote-unquote lore master is just, concerned with fulfilling his job as lead writer. He probably isn't getting paid that much, or at least I'm just guessing, based on, the fact that he simply does not engage the way Lawrence Schick did. Whether that's because he believes it's no longer his job or he simply doesn't care, I don't know. It's just, it shows you like the quote unquote lead lore master position was previously 50% lead writer, 50% community manager. Now there doesn't seem to be much of that whole community manager thing, nor is he making let's just say nudges toward the lore community. Like, remember that Lawrence Schick always would drop little things like, the idea that there's just one concrete truth might not necessarily be true in the world of Tamriel. He would say things like that to make the lore community happy, even whilst, the game design was leading more towards a direction that anyone who wants to criticize the overall quality of Elder Scrolls Online might not like. And I honestly think it's more that Lawrence Schick was simply writing what he was told to. I need an explanation for this, I need an explanation for that. And so he did. I guess it just comes down to... it's a fundamental misunderstanding that this new quote unquote lore master is going to do the same level of pandering that Schick did. I mean, Schick had a lot of fun with it. You said the more they show, the less they have. That's a good way to put it. Either way, cheers. Okay. Let's go. Let's go ahead and harvest that goat. Horns and garlic. I'm sure they did kill. I'm sure they did. My answer is always water. Yes, my answer is always water. Okay. Apple schnapps? Those are fun. Not having any now, but... Yep. No one's paying me to shill for their alcohol, so I'm afraid, being entirely non-sponsored, I'm just going to tell you I'm drinking water. Yes. Why should I give you free?
Perseverance will only lead to disappointments.
Really?
Still, you persist. Very well. You may enter.
But I'm not persisting. I don't want your disappointment.
Disappointed!
No, I don't want your disappointment. Goodbye. Still you persist. Very well, you may enter. Goodbye. Yes. There's a lot of stuff down there I want to check out. Let me see here. All right.
Which you have been seeking.
This will be my new screensaver.
Your efforts are in vain. It has already begun. Those who have sent you have not told you what they seek, what you seek.
Well, what am I seeking exactly?
You seek that which all who wield magic seek. Knowledge. You shall find this. Knowledge will corrupt. It will destroy. It will consume.
It has, hasn't it? I've seen that evidence.
Shelter in knowledge. You will not find it. Altmer sought the same thing, and it shall lead to his end, as it has so many others.
Okay. But I'm not the first to come to see you then?
Though you may be the last. The one who calls himself Unkano has sought my knowledge as well, through very different questions. Your path differs from most. You are being guided, pushed towards something. It is a good path, one untraveled by many. It is a path that can save your college.
College.
What you need to know to follow it further.
What do I need?
You and those aiding you wish to know more about the Eye of Magnus. You wish to avoid the disaster of which you are not yet aware. To see through Magnus's eye without being blinded, you require his staff. Events now spiral quickly towards the inevitable center, so you must act with haste. Take this knowledge to your Archmage.
Okay. Thanks for nothing. Ascension. What? Amazing. Yeah, let's...
The Augur of Dunlane. Now it makes sense. Here I was excited about meeting a magical ogre, and instead it's some talking ball of light.
Good work, Rumarin. Good work. I want to meet the Ogre of Dunlane as well. Sounds a lot more interesting than this. Oh, boy. Okay, we're jumping down here. Yep. Septum's Lair. Anything else? That leads out to Skyrim. Not sure I want to go to Skyrim right now. Oh, God, spiders. We got him. That's fine. Look at them just waltzing on in after I killed the Black Widow. Jeez. Yes. Uh-huh. Well, I mean, it makes sense why people would want to investigate it and spend huge amounts of time on it, because it's so, there's so little effort put into it, and it's so mysterious and so unlike other things in the game. It makes sense why somebody would spend 3 hours talking about it. I am just not interested in that discussion, unfortunately. I think there's a lot to dig into about potential storylines that could have spun off of the Augur and how we could have used it potentially in decent writing. But as it is now, trying to dissect the existing canon, no, I have no interest in that. Yes. My goodness, what's this? Farm bread and a book. People will like it if you just hint at better writing than actually writing for real. Yeah? Yeah? Exactly. I mean, think about the great and glorious... God, what was their names? The great and glorious... I lost it. I was gonna say, okay, we had Akavir, the great and glorious Akavir. Yes. Amazing how much how everyone loves Akavir and everyone wants to go to Akavir. You want to go to Akavir, right? And see all the races and learn about all the Akaviri peoples. Even Todd Howard said it's better that it stay mysterious. And you know why it's better that it stay mysterious? Because they wouldn't do it justice. So, that's... But everyone talks like, is Elder Scrolls 6 going to take place in Akavir? But yeah. If you hint at deeper meanings, then people will try to dissect those meanings and create their own headcanon. At which point... you can just pick the best one and go, yeah, that's exactly what I meant all along. Or what do you think? That's a good one. That's how you don't piss off any of the individual people. You go like, well, what do you think? And they each imagine these really cool results there. Like, oh my God, it's true. My idea was absolutely the real thing. I'm so super smart. When in fact they never really hinted at anything. It's just, okay, so let's go. Ooh. Yes. Well, I mean, with Square Enix, you can just replace it with the power of friendship. We choose our own destiny. Wait, you just destroyed all of the stakes of a 60-hour story by saying we choose our own destiny? Thanks. Alright, we've got a Draman to fight. Level 64 Draman Brute. But I'm trying to dodge away, not into it.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah, I'm trying to enjoy this as well. Okay. Frost Draman Brute. No, I was talking about Final Fantasy 13, which was trash. Disgusting trash. That should not exist. Yes. Okay. Let me see here. Drop another one there. There we go. That's better. All right. Moving on. So. You wonder why I got 2 sequels? Well, they dropped a lot of resources into Final Fantasy 13. I'm not joking. They dropped a huge amount of resources into Final Fantasy 13. Their original intention was to make her into kind of an idol like a virtual idol. They were going to give her like a clothing line brand and everything, which they did, by the way. They successfully gave her a clothing line brand and everything. They had her Lightning be a model and everything. It was super special, super special. So my point is that it was pretty garbage. Let me see here. That doesn't seem right. I'm gonna look at something that's time left, and it should be ebony. Okay, we do have ebony flesh. That's fine. Good. Now, my goodness. Good. We just harvested all those animals. We're going to talk to Elena about the harvests. When was the last time I played vanilla Skyrim? Years ago. I have no intention of ever playing it again. Not even joking. That's why when people tell me, you know, you should do another, you should do follow up on these Elder Scrolls detective, this or that. You should delve into the lore of Skyrim. I'm like, but Skyrim isn't that good. I have no intention of ever popping into the vanilla version of the game again. I just want to play modded versions of it for shits and giggles. Not even joking. Like, I have no intention of ever playing it again the way, quote-unquote, Bethesda intended. I mean, same thing for Oblivion and Morrowind, really. I've spent, you know, quite a bit of time looking at that. God, even Daggerfall. Nope. I pretty much played all of those games vanilla once, and then I was ready to throw on the mods. Then, come to think of it, Torchlight as well. I played Torchlight once vanilla all the way through, and then I promptly started using mods. So no, basically every game that has the option to enhance it through mods, I will play once vanilla, and then I will promptly add different mods to enhance the experience in subsequent playthroughs. But no, the last time I actually played the vanilla game was the first time I played the vanilla game. And then I was done with it. We got a rat. The rat is dead. Yes. Okay. So, my point is that, yeah. My point is nothing. Nothing at all. Fish barrels. Let's grab the salt. Salt, yes. Salt, yes. Salt, yes. Salt, yes. Mm-hmm. Good. I enjoyed vanilla Skyrim back when it was first out. I didn't criticize the story very much. I didn't bother criticizing the story very much. I looked at it and I said, okay, that's fine. This is adequately satisfactory adventure. Not great, but fun, you know? And that was it. I was basically done with it. And then we had mods. A lot of mods. Yes. Torchlight 2 is a different beast. There are so many great additions. You should try the Synergies mod for Torchlight 2 if you haven't already. It adds tons of content.
What are you gawking at, apprentice?
That guy is so demented. His voice. Yep. I'm sorry, I don't care about GTA. I enjoyed the single-player game, and I liked messing around with GTA Online until I realized that, well, it isn't actually you playing GTA Online with your friends. It was, oh, here's another mini game to go do. Yes. I mean, I had a solid about 10 hours of kind of decent fun with GTA Online. Yes. I actually have a video on YouTube about modding Torchlight 1, and it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Mm-hmm. Let me go this way. To the Arcanium. To speak with a crazy person. My favorite part is the way they get in my way. We didn't mean to go to the Arcanium. We need to go to the Archmage's quarters. I loved Grand Theft Auto's single-player story. And I had about 10 hours of fun in GTA Online. And I proceeded to not care about it from then on. Yep. Once I found out that the whole thing encouraged you to go play either mini games or content that was segregated off of the main map, I was just like, okay, I'm done with this video game. Thank you very much.
I'm not sure what happened. A monk from the Sijic Order. Here after all these years, and then he just leaves. I hope we didn't offend him somehow. Beyond asking for you, he never said. Very strange indeed.
Hold on. Savos.
What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Several if you're talented.
Clipping through that. Red Dead Revolver? Yes. That's a video game you should play. All right, let's see here. Yeah, Red Dead Revolver is a should I say Red Dead Redemption is a sequel to Red Dead Revolver, and then Red Dead Redemption 2 is a prequel. What? Don't question it. Just go play Red Dead Revolver. Yes. All right, I have information. Have you heard of the Augur of Dunlane? Let's ask him.
Has Tofdir been telling stories again? I thought I made it quite clear that this was a subject inappropriate for conversation. Please, don't allow him to continue to discuss the subject.
I have some information for you, though.
Really? And what might that be?
That Red Dead Revolver is a thing? You didn't know that Red Dead Redemption was a sequel? Well, there you go, then. All right, yep, Staff of Magnus.
I'm sorry, what? Well, I'd certainly love to have such a powerful staff, but I'm not really sure that any of us need it.
It's connected to the orb we found, yes.
And how do you know of this?
I spoke with the Augur.
Did you really? And he specifically mentioned the Staff of Magnus? I'm impressed with your initiative. Of course, someone will need to follow up on this.
Yeah, right. You mean me, don't you?
I certainly do. Since you went so far as to seek out the Augur for advice, I thought you'd be more enthusiastic. Something as specific and ancient as the Staff of Magnus. I'm not sure we'd ever find something like that. I seem to recall Mirabelle mentioning the staff somewhat recently. Why don't you see if she can tell you anything?
Can't wait for Mirabelle.
I'm pleased with your progress, you know. You've certainly proven yourself to be more than a mere apprentice. Well done. This circlet once proved invaluable to me. I hope it can be of use to you now.
I've never been promoted, have I? I'm still just apprentice. And I'm going to stay just apprentice up until the point I'm made Archmage, aren't I? By the way, the Mage's Circlet, it belongs in a museum. Not even joking. Let me see here. My goodness. Yeah, I don't know. This is Mage's Circlet. Increases your Magicu by 80 points. Amazing. Now, if only we could put it on with our helmet. Let's see. So if we put our helmet on, and then we try to wear the circlet, I bet it'll unequip my helmet. Yeah, it unequips the helmet. So, Unfortunately, I'd rather have the damn adamantium helmet than I would, because, yeah, it's way better. My goodness. No problem there. Damn shame. Damn shame. We're the apprentice. Yes. All right. Let's leave. We need to go meet with Maribel Irvine again. Where is she anyway? She's probably in the Hall of Dilapidation. What? There it is. The Hall of Incontinence. Yes. Hello there?
One of the few things that keep us in touch with the rest of Skyrim.
Why don't you just stop? You keep saying that same line there over and over. Countenance Hall.
Please don't bother the Archmage unless it's absolutely necessary.
No fall damage? No fall damage. Almost like my jumping skill improved. Did you know that we can also charge up a spell and jump and shoot? Jump and shoot. Jump and shoot. What about hack and slash? Hack and slash? In the air? Wait. Do you mean do a barrel roll? Dodge to your wherever you want? Do a barrel roll? Yes. Freedom of movement? You mean I don't take fall damage and go crunch the instant I try to jump like 5 feet? Impossible. Okay. Very good. Hello, Miss Irvine.
Jade, mine is not a popular position, but someone needs to keep things running smoothly around here.
Right. Okay. Well, tell me about the Staff of Magnus.
Well, now that's an odd question. Why in the world would you be asking?
Yes, well, actually, it could be connected with the Eye of Magnus.
The Eye of Magnus? I can appreciate that this thing, this orb, it's very impressive, very unique, and definitely worth studying. But let's not jump to any conclusions or assign it importance beyond what we're certain of.
Sorry. The Augur referred to it as the Eye of Magnus, not me.
The Augur. Just what have you gotten yourself involved in? Whatever is going on, whatever you're up to, be very careful.
So, the Staff of Magnus?
Well, it's said to be very powerful. Has the capacity to store an incredible amount of magical power, as the story goes. But it's more myth than anything at this point. I've no doubt that it actually exists, but no one has seen it in, what, decades? Longer? I'm not sure. The only time I've heard it mentioned was when those Synod characters showed up some months ago looking for it.
The Synod? Really?
Mages based out of Cyrodiil. They fancy themselves the imperial authority on magic these last few hundred years. My understanding is that all they really do is make noise in an attempt to curry favor from the Emperor. Lots of politics, little magic. I was quite surprised to find them on our doorstep. They seemed amiable enough, but their line of questioning made me uneasy. It became clear they're trying to hoard powerful artifacts, looking to consolidate power.
Well, then they probably want to raid my museum. I only have 1,125 relics there. But, no staff location?
No one here does. The Synod seemed convinced it was somewhere in Skyrim. They inquired about the ruins of Mizulft, but that's all I remember.
Mizulft?
It sounded like they were heading there, though they were rather secretive about why. I suppose if you're intent on looking for the staff, there's a chance they might be in Mizulft yet. Just don't expect them to be cooperative.
Yes. What else can you tell me about the staff?
I'm not really sure. Made and used by Magnus himself, if you believe those sorts of things.
No.
I believe I've heard it said that it's the only thing that could adequately contain his power. The sort of embellishment wizards of ancient times loved to make.
Okay, so in other words, this is all bullshit. Got it. Hey, Elena. Rumarin! Behold, this is the best Altmer ever.
To track down the Synod or the Staff of Magnus.
No, I've only been standing here for about 5 seconds before you asked me about that. Now.
Managed to track down the Synod.
Yeah, get back. Rumarin!
Did I ever tell you what my name means in the old Aldmeri? That's because I have no idea.
Makes sense to me.
You lead, and I'll do whatever you say.
All right. Well, Magnus was a big ball of light that tore his way through reality and left the sun behind. Like, the sun is a big hole in space where Magnus didn't really stick around into the material age, as it were. So some other person made a really powerful staff, and then they just attributed it to Magnus, because Magnus shouldn't have had anything to do with this. Unless that's an artifact from the Dawn Era, in which case it's really underpowered by comparison. Now, we need to go to Mazolfti. That is the place we have to go at some point. Do I care about Mazolfti? Probably not. Right. Let's get out of here. Ariel's bow is really weird because it was supposed to... Okay, before, in Elder Scrolls 2's lore, on the item description for Ariel's bow, it was held by the High Elf demigod, Auryen, who had the power to kill anything in one shot. And if you look at Ariel's bow in Daggerfall, wow. Ariel's bow...
I'm standing here.
Damn. I was going to say, Ariel's bow had the Sphere of Negation power, where it had the ability to instantly kill something if they failed a skill check. Yes. It was never great. Yes. Skill check, stat check, you know, stat challenge, whatever you want to call it. They had a saving throw, and if they failed their saving throw, they were instantly killed by Ariel's bow. Thing is, Sphere of Negation wasn't unique to Ariel's bow. You could enchant something with it. Yes. In Arena, it was basically a machine gun. Arena is unfortunate, let's just say. Very, very basic, like Dungeons and Dragons. It only started really getting its own unique lore as of Daggerfall. But yes, the whole Malakath thing, that got introduced a little later on. Jeez. Oh, boy. Let me see here. We're leaving. I suppose we do have to go down to Mazolft. Contemplating if there's anything else we need to do. Contemplating Thalmor headquarters. Nah, they don't need to go over there. Let me see. There was a necklace we needed to get. Oh, goodness. What the hell? Ringmail hood. Oh, these are different items that have been lost. Interesting. Well, we do have to find the Armor of the Crusader, which is over here. And I'm pretty sure, like, Mazolft spits you out over here. Anyway, so the Armor of the Crusader should be in there. I think we should, just proceed in with Mazolft. And hopefully get the Armor of the Crusader along the way. If it's a different dungeon, so be it. We'll do both dungeons. Hello? Thanks, Skyrim. For a second, I thought she was a pretty lady riding side saddle. Then I realized that she was riding normally, but then just having her torso to the side. Like, she was twisted in an awkward way. You know, typically an elegant woman would ride side saddle, right? However, she was just sitting normally with her torso twisted around. Like, jeez. Okay. Speak, elf. Skyrim, the land of monsters. Die, monster. You don't belong in this world. Ooh. Mm-hmm. All right. The time has come. What are we going to fight down here? Probably nothing. Probably nothing. What? Just checking the caravan. Nope. Nothing over here that's new. Wait a second. Hello? Treasure chest with nothing. Potions of warmth. What's in the crate? What's in the crate? The book. Poison Song Volume 2. That book belongs in a museum. Very good. We just got a new book for the museum because we found a dead caravaner. Caravaneer. Sorry. Use words. Let me see. A loot crate. Ain't that the truth, though? Ain't that the truth? All right. Adventures, question mark. Let's get going. We've got some bludgeoning to do. Or mining of copper ore. That works, too. Mine that ore. I like how my skeletons are still around due to issues. Said Elder Scrolls 6 will be a gacha game with world exploration elements. Imagine it. All of the ancient heroes are coming back. The Navarine, the 7th champion of Cyrodiil, the Eternal Champion, as well as every ESO character ever. And they need your help. Yes. You can roll for them in loot boxes, and then you can lead them into battle. Yes. All right. Hold on. We have to spend all your money. Hold on. I'm gonna really quick just pull up the advertisement for Genshin Impact. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me do this. So, as I was saying, let me grab it right now. I'm pulling up the official Genshin Impact Deluxe trailer. Here we go. Yes, here. Hold on. This is a commercial for a character. Now, I want you to imagine this Elder Scrolls, like, turned into Elder Scrolls, basically. Here we go. Hold on. This is a commercial. They want you to gamble. They want you to gamble for these characters.
Winery's owner, Diluc dominates Mondstadt's alcohol industry. Wealth and information are at his fingertips. Modest and refined, yet quick to act whenever Mondstadt faces a crisis. What caused him to choose this path? How very curious.
There must be those who dare to pierce the darkness with their light.
As one who wields pyro and a claymore, Diluc has perfected the art of violence and dominates the battlefield. With his powerful skills, Diluc causes massive damage with ease and crushes all his foes with fearsome, ruthless strikes. Born a noble, Diluc is well versed in all things swords. With his guidance, no metal ore is wasted in their making. When forging claymores, Diluc recovers a set percentage of the ores used, aiding greatly in your adventure. Diluc's normal attack performs up to 4 consecutive strikes, with the 4th strike launching enemies.
So yes, the Namarine's normal attack is 4 consecutive strikes. See what I'm saying? Like, they could literally do a commercial. The Dragonborn Fusro Da. Like, you see what I'm saying, right? Like, they could do that. They could obviously do that.
The flames into his blade and launching a phoenix, dealing massive pyro damage to enemies in its path. Diluc's normal and charged attacks will also deal pyro damage for a period of time. Dawn has a very large hitbox, allowing it to not only strike airborne foes, but also forcibly reposition enemies to an extent, making it very strong against groups.
This is the official account, by the way. This is the official Genshin Impact YouTube account. They want you to gamble for these characters. Seriously. Not even joking. Okay. Whoops. I screwed that up. There we go. So, yeah. I mean, people already roll... Like, they've spent a lot of money in Elder Scrolls Legends, the card game. I'm serious. They've spent a lot of money in Elder Scrolls Legends for their own choice characters and cards. You know that in Elder Scrolls Legends, hold on. Let me pull this up. So, get this. Let me pull it up right now. Okay. Now, Legends isn't dying. Legends already dead. They stopped updating it. They've already said they're never updating it again. Okay, so this is the Adoring Fan card before adding himself back into your Legends deck. All right? Yes, you were walking pretty fast up there. I almost lost you. But I finally caught up to you. I missed you. So yeah, the Adoring Fan before adding himself back into your deck. Yes. You said, but only in Genshin Impact can you roll for Cat Girl. Yes, you can. You think Genshin Impact is absolutely. So we'll need some Alfik Khajiits, wouldn't we? Can you imagine? Hold on a second. Okay. So we get an Elder Scrolls Gacha game where we roll for Khajiits. Okay.
Diona, bartender of the Cat's Tail. I charge a hefty fee for private events. My ears and tail are no prop, they're real. Proof of my cat's line bloodline. Life as a mixologist is very busy. When I'm not at the tavern, I'm out collecting ingredients for new recipes, so unless something is urgent, don't bother me. On the rocks! Hey! Think you can bully me? Look at you, Bootown! I wasn't waiting for you. I just happened to be resting.
There you go. There you go. They could make you roll for Khajiits. Yeah, you said it seems wrong. Well, of course it's wrong. Do we need to put this up for you so you can understand how this works? Because I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here. All right? Makes sense now? There you go. Yes. We got a Draman. I'm gonna clunk him in a second. Damn it, he dodged. Ow, that hurt. I'll have your head. Hadouken. Yes. Okay. We needed to go in the opposite direction. We are going the wrong way. Ellen is here, but Rumarin's taking his sweet time. It's 5 a.m. It's probably too late to pray, but we're going to try praying anyway, like an idiot. Yes. Oh, 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. We've missed our window to pray. You mean Hadouken? Yes. Hadouken. Very good. My own talk show? Probably not. But I would be convinced to just bullshit a little more. All right. Videos, I could probably do. Probably need to just chat with someone some more. I think that would handle it. Let me see here. Anyway, as far as Elder Scrolls 6 goes, they would be in a bad position if they did anything else other than Skyrim 2 Electric Boogaloo. That's what people are expecting. They aren't expecting more RPG elements. They aren't expecting any more, intriguing plot lines. They just need a more open world exploration, loot things and kill monsters, go do dungeons, and then just theme it in either Hammerfell or High Rock or something, or Valenwood, whatever. And the people do not care. Like the average person does not care if you leave out the walking city in Valenwood, or you completely ruin the what is it called, Yakuden Pantheon, reducing it down to the Imperial Pantheon again. Like, the average player does not care about those things, and will adapt to whatever story you give them. And Bethesda-oriented YouTubers, or YouTubbies, depending on how you want to call them, will gobble it all up for the purposes of regurgitating it for, viewers who are excited about the new video game that they just played and they like, and they want other people to like it too. So, yes. Very good. Yes, YouTubbies. Like the Teletubbies, except they're you. We're grabbing all the creep clusters and stuff as we go through this area. No reason not to, really. It's very effective. We are heading down to this this area over here. Yes. The only reason you want to go to Valenwood are for the walking cities. Well, we've already confirmed that in ESO, the walking city vanished. It was stolen by Rajin, the Khajiit thief god. And Yeah, they just added that quest as a way to show, like, oh, well, it's gone now because Regine stole it. Ha, 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 ha. Why did he steal it, by the way? Because he actually fell in love with this Dunmer lady who didn't return his love. That's it. That's literally it. Like, she didn't love him back. Yes. So he was like, you know what? I know your husband's on the Walking City. I'm just going to steal the whole city so you can't be with him anymore. And then you'll love me. And obviously he didn't, or she didn't. And, you know, yeah. Heaven forbid, you know, you don't warm up to me because I stole your husband from you.
Guess that's the last of them.
But, yeah. Damn her for staying true to her husband. I'm just gonna steal the whole city away with him in it. That's Elder Scrolls Online. Yep. We got Bristleback to kill. Whoa!
That takes care of that.
Hold on a second. Are you asking me? Hold on. Okay, what you're saying is basically,
Could it be law?
Don't know. Okay. Let me see what else we got here. Yeah, we're done. Don't need to go there. Go this way. I was getting distracted by little caves and things on the side. No. Mammothing tusks. They murder mammoths. These hunters. Hassan Chop. Top chops.
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years.
Of course you have.
That's what you're doing.
What do you mean what I'm doing?
I am Uglars, huntress of all.
Uglars? Are you from Narsbor?
It was my home, but I left. The woods felt more alive, at least for a time.
Do you know the other people?
Mahulak.
Mahulak.
I remember him. Little scrawny fellow.
He is now chief.
Ha! Now that I would like to see. I may go back there someday.
He managed to get the ebony mine working again.
Always thought that old mine had more to it. Just like Malhulak to smash his way to good fortune. I'm going back to Narzabur. Want to see how it's come.
Yes. You go back to Narzabur, and that way the scrawny little guy who got the mine working can get himself another wife. Because that's how the Orcish society works. Is, you know, just the one guy can have wives and the rest of the men basically get exiled. It's really terrible, actually, their culture, and would result in a lot of inbreeding at the end. Like you think of a family tree, it'll be more like a family bush. Let's just say there's a reason why the British royal family has some health issues in parts of their family. You know, it's the genetics. France was having similar issues before, you know, a lot of people died. A lot of people died. So, yes. Got to keep those royal bloodlines pure, you know what I mean? Jeez. Yep. We got black soul gems there. I have a crate lid for no reason at all. Glorious. Doo, doo, doo. Yes. Exactly. Yeah, how will they maintain their numbers? The orcs? They basically don't. The idea behind it is the orcs are like the chieftain keeps all of his wives pregnant pretty much all the time, and then well, you know, they end up with one unviable genetic line. But don't worry about it. This is the Elder Scrolls. Genetics don't work that way necessarily. Maybe inbred people aren't horrible monstrosities, you know, deformed and otherwise broken people. Don't worry about it. Like, it may not reduce their intelligence or their, you know, the big scrawny fellow. Oh no. Oh no. Maybe he was the result of that inbreeding. That's why he was so scrawny. Who knows? Who knows? More or less joking. All of this has been one big joke, you understand. We just have to assume the mechanics don't work that way in this world. That's the best way to figure it. Yes.
A dwarven city, a place of mystery and death.
Said, do you really think Bethesda thought about these things? They created Little Lamplight. Yes, they created Little Lamplight, and oh boy. Sky Shard. Yay! We need 2 more Sky Shards to get a perk point. We can't wait to have more perk points. Yes. Hiss deprivation has nothing to do with inbreeding. They are completely separate mechanics in the world. Yes. Mazoft.
Crystal. Gone. Find Paratus. Inoculary.